Ajnanatimirandasya jananjana salakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhuya Evacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Everyone, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Vishpadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutala Srimate Giridhari Swami Namine. So these kind of invocation mantras, just like this one, is pertaining and offering respect to Srila Prabhupada. And if one have a Diksha Guru or a spiritual master, he also have a mantra to pay respect. It's like, ito nagbabago madalas yun. Shrimate, then this is the name, Bhaktivedanta Swami. This is Srila Prabhupada's name. So just like my guru, Srimate Giridhari Swami, ito namin eh. So may different invocation mantras sa different disciples. Of course, then, parang lolo natin si Srila Prabhupada, spiritual lolo. Kasi our teachers are disciples of Srila Prabhupada. So, quick question. If you're chanting your rounds, you can type how many rounds you're chanting every day as a minimum. So again, minimum is hindi bababa doon, but you can chant much more. How do you distinguish kung ilan yung minimum? Depende sa'yo kung ano yung vow mo. Ano yung papanindigan mo. Now, people are afraid of commitments and label, di ba? Pero spiritual life, you have to commit. Especially the relationship spiritually. Wow, yan. Tuloy-tuloy. Thank you for doing the challenge, accepting the challenge for this one round every day for the whole course. And you can step up according sa kaya ninyo. Yeah, we have all to always stretch ourselves, to challenge ourselves. Lalo na spiritually, di ba? So, since sinulat nyo to, tinype nyo yan, I will message you to remind how's your chanting. Yan. So, you can increase. Yan. Yung iba, they could like increase one every day, or one every week, or one every month. Pero yung one every month, masyado matagal na yun. So, usually, every week or every 2 weeks, they increase. By your chanting naman, minimum of one. Ay, lagi naman ako nakakatawa, hindi naman bumaba ng 2 rounds for the last 2 weeks na, then increase na ulit. So, that is the progress of spiritual journey natin. Kaya journey, hindi nakahinto, hindi spiritual tambay. So, we have to move forward. So, yes, of course, importante pa rin yung quality. Hindi lang yung nag-chant ka tapos lumilipad yung mind mo. The quality of chanting is very important. And ang ganda ng topic natin ngayon. Sino nakabasa ng topic natin? Sige nga, type nyo yung topic natin. Nabasa nyo ba yung message ko sa group chat? Nagbabago yung topic nung sa ka-date na yun. Pero minsan kinaka-copy-paste ko tapos may edit lang. Ay, hindi nyo nabasa. Ang tagal na mag-type pa. Krishna heals all wounds. Oftentimes, tinatanong ng tao, bakit gano'n naratatsaran? Yung mga bagay na gusto ko makalimutan. Hindi ko makalimutan. Tapos yung mga bagay na gusto ko matandaan, nakakalimutan ko. Di ba pag exam, ganun. Pero yung mga, alam mo yun, ayaw mo ng mga memories, gusto mo na i-suppress, bumabalik pa rin siya palagi. So, bakit may ganito? Why is this so? And what are the reasons behind? So, we will learn, of course. We've been looking for a place where our hearts and souls belong. And definitely, it doesn't belong to any material plane in this material world. Kahit ipatato mo pa yung zip code ng lugar ninyo. After some time, nilipat ka rin. If not this life, next lifetime. So we will learn ano ba talaga yung, or saan ba talaga yung home natin. So this is the Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 15, The Yoga of the Supreme Person, Home. Pero balikan muna natin yung discussion natin last night. This is wise, of course. We have to use our intelligence. And Krishna was asked by Arjuna regarding certain topics and Sanskrit words na yun. The Prakriti, the material nature, which is pinag-usapan natin, the trap, diba? Yung ego trap. The Purusha, the enjoyer, which is si Krishna yung Purusha, the supreme enjoyer. The Kshetra or the field. This body is the field, and the soul is there, us, and Kshetragya, which is the soul, the knower of the field. Gyan is the knowledge, and the best knowledge that we could learn is knowledge about Krishna. And the Gyanam, yes, that's the object of the knowledge, that's Krishna. Doon naka-direct lagi. So doesn't mean hindi mo na-aralin yung related sa business mo or sa work mo. Puro Krishna ka na lang forever. Tapos wala ka nang sinasweldo. Na-fire ka lang sa trabaho. So we have to be practical. Importante pa rin yung pagiging Krishna conscious. So yan. Super soul and the soul. It was discussed. And the difference nato. The big difference nato. And of course, the connection. And trap. We have the three modes of material nature. Ano yung tatlong yun? You can type. Hindi yung English lang, hindi yung Sanskrit. The sattvic, tamasic, and rajasic. Yes, that, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Yes. So we want to always be in the mode of goodness. Pero hindi yun yung goal natin. That is the platform for us to be easier na makapag-perform tayo ng Krishna consciousness. But even you're in passion or ignorance, kailangan Krishna conscious ka pa rin. You're in control. Hindi ikaw yung, alam mo yun, yung, like in the picture, trap ka, binded ka. So race for prominence kasi may mixture siya, different percentage. And we have the actions and depth, depende dun sa modes of nature. Of course, pure life is pure goodness. Ito yung gusto natin beyond, transcendental, di ba? Beyond neto. So we are high. Stay high forever daw. So yung home, H-O-M-E, the Yoga of the Supreme Person, Chapter 15. One of the favorite chapter ko to. Lahat naman, sabi nga sa spiritual life, walang superlative, lahat best. Dito lang sa material world yung may competition. Sa spiritual world, lahat best. So huwag kayong magtaka lahat ng sinasabi ko, favorite ko, best. Or walang competition. So walang best student, lahat kayo best student. Letter H, home or hotel. So there's a story. One saintly person, detached siya sa mga bagay. Simple lang yung dala-dala niya. He has a begging pot. Doon na rin siya minsan ginagamit for bathing in the river. He's traveling. So, kailangan niya sumakay ng eroplano. Then, may nakasama siya sa boarding sa gate na businessman. May dala siyang luggage, hand carry, and of course, alam mo yung style pag may flight ka, sobrang bigat nung hand carry na bag mo, pero kunyari hindi mabigat. Tapos meron ka pang luggage. So, na- pero syempre, packlight na tayo noon, di ba? Kasi we don't have to bring our own, yung buong bahay, yung the whole closet mo, di ba? So, nagkataka to, kasi nakita niya yung saintly person na, talaga, ay, dala mo? Yung begging pot lang. Sabi nung saintly person, um, ikaw, ay lang yung dala mo? Yung dalawang bag lang? Sabi nung businessman, sandali lang naman ako, I'm just traveling. Tapos, sabi niya, tinanong niya yung ikaw, bakit ito lang dala mo? Ito lang pagmamayari ko eh. Talaga, ayun lang. Ayun na yung, yung mga things that you own. Tapos, sabi niya, kasi sandali rin naman ako dito eh. So, all throughout our lives, we're trying to accumulate a lot of things, not knowing you're just permanent here. Sandali rin naman tayo rito eh. So, it'd be foolish. Yun sa second story na, if you are staying, di ba minsan may mga flight ka na kailangan mong mag, may transition ng different flight, pero minsan may days na gap. So you have to stay overnight or a weekend sa hotel bago ka mag-next. Or meron ka lang meeting doon, then lipad ka ulit. So it will be foolish kapag you're staying in a hotel kahit sa suite or presidential suite pa yan. Sa penthouse pa yan. Tapos 2 nights ka lang doon, 3 days, 2 nights, or even 2 days, 1 night ka lang doon. It will be foolish kapag pumunta ka doon, may dala kang furniture, baguhin mo yung tiles ng CR, diba? May dala kang mga halaman, diba? Yung mga, yung mga pwesto sa front desk, magkataka yun, anong trip nun? I-renovate niya yung room niya, diba? 2 days lang naman siya doon eh. Diba? Buong araw niya, gagawin niya lahat yun. Punta siya sa Home Depot, babaguhin niya, diba? May planning siya doon. Not knowing, hindi naman talaga siya permanent titira doon eh. Hotel lang yun for some time. So in our lives, hindi talaga tayo nakatira dito. This is not our home. So parang hotel lang to. We might be here for some years. Maximum at least, di ba? Swerte tayo mapag 100 years ka. Sabi nila pag umabot ka daw ng 100 years, may 100,000 ka daw from the government. So paano kaya pag nakuha mo yung gagawin mo sa 100,000? So but yeah, you will be lucky enough kapag umabot ka ng 100, lalo na ngayong age na to. Still, we are temporary here. So if you spend your time just like this weekender dun sa hotel, spend your time to accumulate a lot of things, a lot of proprietorship, property, di ba? You miss, di ba kung sa lugar na they miss to see the culture, yung view, to meet people. Kasi busy lang siya mag-redecorate ng hotel room niya. And hindi ka makapunta sa destination mo, hindi ka makakalis ng bahay if you're going to, diba, broken-hearted ka, punta ka sa Sagada. Hindi ka makapunta ng Sagada kapag attach ka sa bahay mo, hindi ka makaalis. So, hindi ka makakapunta sa destination mo. So, same thing. Hindi ka makakapunta kay Krishna if you're too much attached here in the material world. Becoming detached from the material world, one should detach himself from this material world because this is only the reflection ng spiritual world. Almost same na meron tayo doon. We want love. Pagdating dito, puro lust lang. We want a relationship. Pagdating dito sa material world, temporary relationship. You want happiness. Pagdating dito, temporary happiness. Pero lahat ng mga gusto natin sa spiritual world. So yung hunkering natin, it's normal. We don't have to suppress this. So it's like the impersonalist. Pero you have to connect it to Krishna. You want to perform arts, to create something for Krishna. Pagdating dito, it's just for money. Sa spiritual world, it's always connected kay Krishna. So one should be detached here. So ito yon, home or hotel. Kung nakikita nyo, it's a banyan tree. Banyan tree is balete. So third holy tree. So totoo yun, yung mga natatakot sa balete. May story yun, pero tignan natin kung may, paalala nyo sa akin later. Bakit scary yung balete? Di ba may balete na mga horror stories? So yes, the banyan tree, hindi mo malaman kung saan yung trunk, saan yung mga branches, saan yung roots. May napuntaan ako sa India, sobrang ganda. Sobrang laki nung banyan tree, more than 500 years na siya. Tapos tumawid na siya sa kabilang road. So yung road na yun, dadaan ka doon sa ilalim ng banyan tree. So hindi mo alam kung saan yung roots, saan yung, alam mo yun, kasi mag-go down siya, tapos may aangat din. This material world, entangled, parang buhol-buhol. Try natin i-zoom in, kung makikita niya. So, kung napansin niyo sa taas, that's the spiritual world. So, hindi ganyan kaliit, just lang yan. Illustration lang. Then, of course, higher planetary system, the heavenly planets, si Lord Brahman dito. Ayun, si Sun God, si Surya, diyan kayo nagka-Surya Namaskar. Kay Vivashvan. The other demigods. Of course, the darker, the lower it is, the darker yung lower planetary system. Us, here in the material world, we're just going up and down. Hindi natin alam minsan. We're just enjoying the fruits. Economic development, improve yung buhay natin economically. Yung position, religiosity. Sense gratification, we just want to gratify our senses. Diba yung 5 horses na yun? Puro doon lang nakafocus. Or you want to just be liberated. Umangat lang tayo dun sa taas ng puno. Kasi nandun yung mga demigods. So, paikot-ikot lang. Of course, you can go down then. Depende sa karma natin. So, pwede tayo maligaw-ligaw dito. So, this is material world. We're entrapped. But, ano yung nagpapastay sa atin dito? Because of this desire. Kasi we want to be here. Diba? Para ikaw yung weekender dun sa hotel. Dito lang ako. Pinaghirapan ko itong i-redecorate, tas iaalis din kagad ako. Diba? Our desire to be here. So, our desires would be also cleansed or purified. So, yung mga cleansing na ginagawa natin, same thing din yun. Or, like the question last night, if we want to be detached sa isang bagay, focus ka dun sa cleansing ng desire natin, maging spiritual desire. So, we can go back sa home natin. So, the only way now out of this tree is of material world is detachment. How? To be Krishna conscious. First of all, through hearing. And all throughout ng practice ng spiritual life, we always hear. That's the mode of ito yung hole that could connect papunta sa heart natin. Of course, because of this, you'll surrender. I'm not the controller. All the things I've been too much attached. Subtle, yung mga experience, yung mga pain, sobrang attached tayo doon or doon sa mga material, mga gross, are all temporary. So, alam mo yun, you'll just surrender to Krishna. So, you could cross this from material to a real home. If not, letter O, on and on, over and over. Ikot-ikot lang tayo doon. We've been here for many lifetimes already. Hindi natin mabilang, baka thousands, millions of years, or millions of lifetimes na tayo. Ilang beses na tayo naging animals, naging tao, naging demigods, naging demon. Diba? Baka iba sa inyo, demigods pa rin. Or baka demon pa rin. So we don't know. Pero on and on. Hanggat di ka aalis dito, ikot-ikot ka lang. So this is what you call samsara. The cycle of birth and death. So minsan wala ka ng tay sa buhay. Diba? Pagod na pagod ka na nga. Kasi pa ikot-ikot na tayo. Na-experience mo na lahat. Problema, hindi mo na matandaan. Pero pag ando ka, ito na yun. Ito na yung 1 million pesos. Ito na yung 10 million pesos. Ito na yung position, managerial career na position. Ito na pala yung tuktok ng bundok. Ito na, alam mo yun, ang dami natin gustong akitin, puntahan. I remember nung mahilig pa ako makit ng bundok. Pagpunta mo sa taas sa tuktok, nag-isip ka kagad ano yung next na akitin mo. Sobrang high ka dun. O kaya pag, alam mo yun, surf ka, kailan ba next holidays? Kailan ba next, mahabang walang school? Gusto ko bumalik ka agad. Diba? So, same thing. Same thing. On and on, over and over. Kasi we are not really satisfied. So, si Krishna yung super soul. And He is in everyone's heart. Kasama natin as the soul. So, this is 15.15. Yan, Maya, could you read the translation after I read the Sanskrit? Sarvasya chaham hirdisana visto matahas mirtriganam apohanam cha Vedaischa sarvar aham eva vidyo vedanta krid veda vid eva chaham. You have a mic, Maya? Narinig niyo ba si Maya? Parang ako lang yata. Oh. We can't hear you, Maya. Wala pa rin. Okay. Sige, later. Sige, you have a mic net. Could you please?
I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas.
Thank you. So, Sarvasya Chaham Hirdi. Hirdi's heart. He is, Sarvasya is everyone. He's seated in everyone's heart. So, don't ever think of you are just alone in your life. Krishna is always with you. He's the ultimate best friend, actually. He maintains. He takes care of us. And He heals all wounds. Kaya Krishna heals all wounds. Di ba sabi, time heal on all wounds. Di ba? Pero si Krishna yung time. So, ito yung power ng forgetfulness. Kay Krishna galing yung forgetfulness na yun. Pero if you're not taking care of your consciousness in your mind, makakalimutan mo rin lahat. Alzheimer's ka rin. Kaya isipin mo si 51st Date, di ba? Ang tagal na nung reference ko, sorry. Sino ba to? Sino artista yun? Si Adam Sandler, si Drew Barrymore, di ba? 51st Date, everyday nakakalimutan niya, bago ng bago. Yeah. And there are people who have this kind of sickness na the mind is protecting them from these memories, yung suppress. Pero minsan may nag-leak, may glitch sa dreams, bumabalik, di ba? So forgetfulness is like that. So imagine na alala mo lahat ng nakaraan mo in previous lives. Lahat ng naging ex mo, lahat ng naging asawa mo. Ang gulo ng buhay no, lahat love mo. Lahat attach ka. Or lahat naging kaaway mo, di ba? Ang dami mong kaaway. O ito yung kaaway kong, yung lion kami, ito yung kaaway ko dati, tas tao na rin siya ngayon. That's the power of forgetfulness. Diba? Because, actually, naging conversation ni Arjuna sa ni Krishna to eh. Sabi ni Arjuna, teka lang Krishna, sinasabi mo, pinasa mo tong Bhagavad Gita, this is eternal, pinasa mo to sa Sun God. Eh, paano magkaedaran lang tayo ngayon ah? Paano mas matanda ka sa Sun God? And Krishna answered, we've been through many lives in different forms and palagi tayo magkasama. But you forget and I always remember. Because we have this body, because we have the material nature, we forget. And even kahapon, di ba? Lahat ba lang sinabi ko kahapon sa 2 hours na kwentuhan natin, discussion natin, natandaan nyo? Hindi lahat, di ba? Hopefully, may 20-30% doon. Masaya na ako. Pero that's forgetfulness. Knowledge as well. Di ba pinag-usapan natin? The key to have Krishna, to understand Krishna, is the love and devotion. Even the illiterate Brahmana, he understood the Bhagavad Gita because of his love and devotion. Krishna could give that. You can read and read Bhagavad Gita if you don't have that right mood, the devotion, with the right teacher, and the association. Hindi mo maintindihan yung Bhagavad Gita. Paikot-ikot ka lang. Ba't ang sinasabi dito? Tapos malilito ka lang. And of course, remembrance. That's why we want to always be Krishna conscious. At time of death, we want to remember Krishna much more. And also the things that we have now, we want to remember. If one is trying to practice the life na centered kay Krishna, having the mode of goodness na lifestyle, yung memory mas magiging iba. The food that you intake, the consciousness, di ba may diet tayo sa chan? Dapat may diet din yung consciousness natin. Ano yung pinapasok mo sa mind mo? If not, you will forget everything. I have this experience. I was doing same. Focus on proper prasadam and chanting, tapos matagal na akong walang TV talaga. So, mahilig lang ako sa film, so yung mga okay na producer, yung mga napapanood ko. The rest, sobrang pihikan ako sa papanoorin ko. And even the music. So, less clutter. Less clutter sa mind. And ang sarap ng memory, I have this chanting, tapos bumalik yung memory ko nung before 1-year-old, nag-aaral ako maglakad. Tapos, parang bihira, di ba siya? Then, kinonfirm ko siya sa parents ko, ito ba yung hawak ko noon? Wala akong walker noon. Parang maliit na stool lang. Tapos, ito yung hawak ko at nagigrip ko pa siya. Parang plastic lahat siya, pero parang fake wood na plastic. Tapos, dumating yung mga tita ko watching me how to learn how to walk. Tapos, kino-confirm ko yun sa parents ko, teka lang, nakakandaan mo talaga yon. So, I have friends na ganito yung mga experiences nila na kaya pa nila ibalik na ibalik. Na even yung, alam mo yun, nag-breast milk pa sila. That's the power of the mind. If nagiging best friend mo siya. Siyempre, may mga glimpse lang yun, hindi ko natandaan lahat. So, may mga ganun lang na, uy, okay yung mind, okay yung consciousness may ganitong effect pala. Pero if sobrang cluttered yung mind natin, di ba, pagpunta mo doon sa living room, nakalimutan mo kukunin mo, tapos napunta ka sa ref, pagbalik mo sa room, teka lang, ano yung kukunin ko? Ba't ito yung hawak ko? Di ba? Yung forgetfulness, sobrang powerful. So, balikan natin tong tatlong to. Sa third line, Vedais Chacharvais Aham Eva Sarvair Aham Eva Video. By all the Vedas, I am to be known. So, lahat ng scriptures talking about Ayurveda, the health, talking about astrology, lahat yon ang end result to know Krishna. Yung iba are very curious, bibigay sa'yo ng Vedas yon. At the end, pag naintindihan mo yon, anong purpose nito is to know Krishna. Or to practice yoga hanggang matutunan mo yung whole Ashtanga yoga, then learn bakit ka nang meditate to connect kay Krishna. Lahat papunta kay Krishna. And si Krishna rin yung compiler na Vedanta. He incarnated himself as Vyasadeva. And of course, siya yung gumawa ng Vedas. Walang ibang gumawa ng Vedas. So, siya yung nakakaalam nito. Siya yung knower ng Vedas. Siya yung expert sa Vedas. So, that's why we're hearing the Vedas from Krishna himself, from this Bhagavad Gita. Not from any other author na may sariling interpretation na hindi inline dun sa authority. So, bakit naging healer ng all wounds si Krishna? He protects us from all these memories, from all these experiences by giving us engagements. Di ba minsan, yung iba parang, anong ginagawa ko para to cope with this mental challenges? Busy lang. Baka busy. That's very effective kasi idle mind is a devil's workshop. Kapag wala kang ginagawa, hindi engage yung mga senses mo, maglalaro yung mind mo. Ang dami niyang pupuntahan. Ang dami niyang bibisitahin from the past, from new worries from the future. So, that's the power of the mind. If magiging worst enemy mo siya. So, the best thing na para maging busy yung mind is to engage it to Krishna. And Krishna takes care of all ng mga wounds natin. Hindi mo na kailangan balikan lahat. Parang, okay, that's, alam yun, pass. And true enough, marami tayong pass. Even yung previous lives, hindi mo alam kung lahat yon natural death yung pinuntahan natin. Yung iba nga daw, pag may mga balat, or anong tawag sa, ano bang English ng balat? Birthmarks, di ba? Yung iba daw, doon galing yung mga source of, mga accident, death nila. Diba? Mga marks daw yon. So, these things, diba, ang dami talaga. And, through time, makakalimutan mo rin talaga yon. Si Krishna bibigay, unless you're too much attached. So, kailangan mo siyang bitawan. May choice ka pa rin. Kailangan mo bitawan. Hindi mo kailangan i-shape yung character, yung personality mo according dun sa mga experience mo previously. Yes, pwedeng I was brought up with this experience, trauma, and all. Tapos ito yung mag-shape sa personality ngayon. And hurt people. While you're trying to heal yourself, nagiging gano'n ka nila sa ibang tao. Diba? For the justification na, hindi, ganito ako lumaki. Tapos ikaw na rin yung trauma nila. So, may expiration yon. Kailan yon? When you decide. Natapos na to. And it will be harder and harder kasi you want to let go. Pero Krishna takes care of all of them. Di ba sino dito nagka-chant na parang, teka lang, ang daming lumalabas na mga suppressed memories. Ako, parang hindi ako, yung mga emotion. Parang, ba't ganun? Ba't kailangan? Di ba pwedeng peace lang? O kaya wala lang? So, it's part of the cleansing. It's part of the marjanam, Chetodarpanam marjanam, cleansing of the heart, of all the dust, all the accumulated baggages natin. So, lumalabas lang siya. Just like cleaning the room. Lumalabas lang alikabok. Na-atching ka minsan, di ba? Pero doesn't mean you have to stop cleaning the room. Hindi mo rin tatambayan yun, dumadaan na yun. So, ano ko to distraction ko to pag nagilinis ako ng ng ashram or other places. Tapos, uy, may bakso. Tapos, titignan mo yon. If you're younger, di ba? Uy, may bakso. Tapos, may mga letter pa doon. Babasahin mo na lahat. Tapos, buong araw ka na nandun. Hindi mo na natuloy yung paglilinis mo. Naligaw ka na doon. Uy, gumagana pa kaya to? Tapos, pupunta, gagawin mo na yon. Di ba? Madali tayo ma-distract. So, in our cleansing, in our healing, dadaan siya. Krishna is taking care of them. Don't worry. So, minsan, wala lang. Dadaan lang siya. Mawala na. Or you're being healed na. Or, teka lang. Parang hindi na ganun ka-painful. Hindi na ganun kabigat. Mas open na. So, the surrender kay Krishna, he reciprocates. He mentioned in the 18th chapter ng Bhagavad Gita, he will take care of all the sinful reactions natin. Yung all unwanted baggage na, all karmas natin. Sakop na niya. Hindi na yung material energy magbibigay ng karma natin. Kukunan na ni Krishna. Parang sagot ko na to Kasi naka-rekta kay Krishna Sagot ko na siya. Only thing is, minsan may pinapakawalan si Krishna unti-unti for us to learn. Pero minimize na niya yung mga reactions na yon. Instead na maputulan ka ng paa, masugatan ka lang sa paa. So, minimize na niya. And minsan, here's the trick. Minsan, dumadating siya kagad. Instead na parang, teka lang, parang next 10 years ko pa dapat makuha yan But parang nagsusunod-sunod? Because you're cleansing nga. Pero minimize na lahat yon. Para in the future, mas dire-diretso ka na. And hindi ka na kailangan bumalik dito sa material world na to. You can go back kay Krishna. So don't worry, it's cleansing, it's healing. The thing that could make it much more in trouble kapag sinakay mo lahat. Kapag pinatulang muli yung mga yon, pag binalikan mo lahat yung mga yon, yung mga old habits natin. Old habits die hard. Pero you must be determined. That's why very important yung Sangha or yung association and having a teacher, having a mentor to guide us. And mahirap naman ko parang, ay teka lang, tigil ko na lang. An unfinished business. Uh, if you do that, you might forget Krishna for some time again. Andun uli si Maya. Balik ka ulit sa dating habit mo. Pero one way or the other, makikita mo si Krishna palagi. Makita mo si Radha Charan, ang daming post. Tapos ang dami, attend kaya ako na class. So same thing, same thing. So don't worry, Krishna could heal everything. All the wounds. Even yung mga hindi mo napapansin. And it changes us. Minsan unti-unti siya tapos di mo napapansin. Just like when you're growing, you're getting taller, di ba? Parang, teka lang, lumaki. Diba? Unless you're araw-araw ka lang sa weighing scale or araw-araw ka nagsusukot ng height mo. Diba? You're growing. So, si Krishna, ganun din. We're healing. Krishna is healing us. Unti-unti. Hindi natin papansin pero people around us would notice. I don't know if na-experience yun na yun. Some are telling me, of course, chanting. Pag walang chanting, iba yung pakiramdam. Pero if you compare yourself before this, parang, malalaman mo ilang percentage. Lalo na if you continue to practice bhakti. So, he's the maintainer. So, letter E natin sa home, the three essential verse. So, the Supreme Soul, that's Krishna. Very simple lang to. We have fallible and infallible. So, the conditioned soul, yung mga nandito sa material world. And we have the infallible, yung mga souls na nasa spiritual world. And minsan bumababa sila rito to save us. They don't go here para ma-experience yung dahil may desire sila sa material life, no? Krishna sent them. The guru, the teachers. Perfect timing, di ba? May mga ganung bagay na, teka lang, ba't dumating si Krishna? Perfect timing. Diba? In exact place, exact time. Tapos prepare ka talaga bago yung lahat na yon. May mga challenges tayong or may niready sa atin, detachment na ginawa. It's like pandemic. Kung di nangyari pandemic, people would not question. Dahil sa pandemic, nawala yung mga attachment sa entertainment natin. Tapos nag-isip tayo, teka lang, ito ba yung purpose ng buhay? Yung kinukuha kong career, once na pwede mag-fall down, mag-crumple down yung industry na to. Tapos wala na yung title ko. So this kind of question, minsan nare-ready. And dito po papasok yung in hindsight or yung buti na lang nangyari pala to, no? Ba't hindi mo pwede sabihin sa lahat to, ah? Buti na lang nangyari sa'yo yan. Tapos ando pa siya sa pain na yon. So, it is to be realized. So, that's home. I don't know with you, but that's why we want to go back home, back to Godhead. Kasi, we have these material experiences here. If not, we're just on and on, over and over. So, a quick lesson dito is, we must know saan natin i-dedicate yung time and energy natin. You don't have to destroy the hotel kasi temporary ka lang doon. There are circumstances. You don't have to not take care of this body. May circumstances. Ang hirap mag-chant kapag maraming masakit sa katawan. So, maintainer of the body, Krishna gives us the knowledge, remembrance, and forgetfulness. And these are very essential in our healing sa mga past natin. And the essence in three verse, si Krishna is the Supreme Soul, and there are two types of other soul. The conditioned and the liberated soul, or the pure souls. Most of them, or lahat sila nasa spiritual world na. But some are going back here to, alam mo yun, sundin lang tayo. Krishna sent them. Like Srila Prabhupada, like what he has done. He's in Vrindavan, in the place of Krishna. But in old age, kailangan niya pumunta doon. sa West. For what? To save us. If not from, not by the effort of Srila Prabhupada, walang ganito. we won't, we won't really understand Bhagavad Gita or this question hindi masagot. Walang ganito, walang Zoom call tayo. Or even the effect of the popularity of yoga and even the plant-based diet. So inhale. So sobrang bilis na ito. This is session, ba 12 to? 15.2. The divine and demoniac nature. Dog. So, ang ganda naging topic pala natin kanina umaga to nung ibang matanda. Previous lives, or previous yugas, previous eras, yung mga demons na sa ibang planets. Then, nag-move forward in time, yung mga demons na sa ibang islands. So, maraming stories yon na matutunan natin sa Srimad Bhagavatam. And nag-move forward yon yung mga demons na sa ibang bahay or sa ibang tao. In this Kali Yuga, the demons are also inside us. So one is capable to be demoniac. That's why we have to always guard ourselves. Di ba lagi may inner battle, battling our own demons. So we want to develop the divine qualities through bhakti. So this is the divine and demoniac nature. So may list kung yung mga divine qualities. Parang naging question to eh. Ano ba yung, sino ba yung mabait? Sino ba yung magkasabing mabait? Saka hindi mabait? Di ba? Anong description nun? Of course, the scriptures mention that. Sino yung may mga divine qualities? Fearlessness, of course, because of knowledge. They're fearless. They cultivate knowledge, purification of one's existence, cleansing. They give charity, of course, in the right way. We will learn how to give charity in the right way. And we have sacrifices. So sacrifice is not just for material gain. The Vedic study, austerity, simplicity, diniscuss natin yan. Freedom from anger. Yes. So forgiveness, ito yung isa. You cannot heal yourself if you don't forgive. So forgiveness is a choice. Hindi dahil nanghingi siya ng forgiveness, you will forgive. No, even walang hiningi forgiveness, you will forgive. And even beyond that, you don't play the role of a victim. Na ikaw yung sinaktan. We might be triggering them para bumalik lang yon. Alam mo yung couple na sa relationship na kaya ako ginawa to kasi ginawa mo sa akin yan. Tapos di na matrace kung sino nagsimula. Pero nagagantihan na lang sila. Tapos wala na yung forgiveness. Sino may kausap pa kanina from sabi niya from babe to blocking the account. Or from rom-com to horror very quick. Kilig ka pa, After lang months, mortal enemy na kayo. Di ba? May ganitong experience eh. I don't know kung na-experience niyo. Pero may mga ganun. Diba? And they live happily ever after. Talaga. So these are divine qualities. Of course, after divine qualities, may demoniac qualities. They're proud. And lumalabas yung pagiging proud nila sa actions. Naging arrogant nila sila. That's why we're always guarding ourselves and imposing na ma-practice natin yung humility. They want people to worship them. They're playing God. And high position. Kahit material position lang, they want, di ba? Kailangan masusunod sila. Of course, the anger, they could not control yung anger minsan lumalabas dun sa harshness of speaking or harshness ng comments saka post nila sa Facebook saka sa social medias. Of course, they don't know because of ignorance. So, ito may outlook yung mga demoniac nature. Meron silang sariling opinion and outlook. Yan. Of course, I discuss kanina, demoniac nature. And they do not know what is to be done and not to be done. Walang right or wrong. Diba yung mga tao, they're fighting for freedom. Minsan yung freedom na yon, ayaw lang nila may authority sila. It's not the real freedom. Kasi they will be binded sa karma. Hindi, we must be free. Ayoko, dapat wala nagdidikta sa'yo na dapat gawin. Actually, you're always binded by rules and regulation, the law of nature. So they don't know what is right and wrong. Unclean and improper behavior. Yan. Not truthful, of course. Ang hirap na ito to practice being truthful. Pero there's an art para hindi ka maging, alam mo yun, harsh lang sa words mo. Hindi, I'm just being true, no? May mga right word. How to say no in a nice way, graceful way. So marami to. I'll forward this so you can read this. So Gates of Hell sa DOG. For one to be able to nurture his demoniac qualities, kailangan mo ng tatlong to. Kailangan mo i-develop yung lust, yung anger, saka yung greed. So para maging ganap na demon ka. So ito lang yung gagawin natin, tatlo. So tandaan niyo yan. So of course, lust, if you are not controlling your senses, diba? Lust is so popular. At the same time, ayaw nila tanggapin na this is the cause of a lot of troubles. Lust, attachments, diba? Could destroy families just for lust. Di, mahal ko na, mahal naman kita pero diba? Hindi siya naging unfaithful. Pero love niya yung asawa niya. Pero hindi lang siya naging faithful because of lust. So, they cannot control. Anger, ganun din, di ba? Alam mo yung, sorry to say, pero corny ako doon yung nag-aaway sa mga bar kasi nagtingin na sila. Titignan mo yung girlfriend ko, sama mo tumingin na. Parang, ano nangyari? Ba't ka nag-aaway dahil sa tinginan? Di ba? So parang gano'n. They cannot control it like, road rage. Di ba? Ba't ka nag-road rage? Hindi naman ka nagbanggaan, di ba? Parang, di ba? What's the reason? Ba't kailangan mag-away dun sa mga mababaw na bagay? Ano kailangan yung patunayan? Of course, greed, di ba? They could do anything. Corrupt, di ba? They could abuse. They could, alam mo, kaya nila sikmarayan na nagkasuffer ibang tao just because of greed. Accumulating. Nang-accumulate lang sila nang-accumulate. These are the gates of hell. So, if you're practicing this, malapit na tayo maging demon. Or dream. So, that's DOG. Divine or demoniac. We're not saying that we're divine. We're saints. But we are following the footsteps ng mga saintly teachers, ng mga devotees. We're asking for their guidance so we could develop that quality as well. And mag-subside yung demoniac nature natin. So may mga opinions and outlook yung demons. You would see that sa chart. Nasa Bhagavad Gita, of course, and sa chapter 15. Paano mag-isip yung demons. And don't use this to judge others, ha. Uy, sabi sa Bhagavad Gita, ito daw, ikaw to. Use this to reflect on yourself. Ay, parang ako to, That's the best way. Look into the mirror. Hindi ka maglulok lang sa window na, uy, sige, ano to, ganito siya, Always improve yourself. Don't be, parang, spiritual police. Nung naturo ka lang ng turo. And the gates of hell. Ano yung tatlong yon? Yung gusto natin gawin? Lust, anger, and greed. how to um, spiritualize that. The loss, spiritualize it para maging love kay Krishna, maging eternal love. The anger, use that passion to control yourself, control your senses. Use that anger in the right timing and way and in control. Not the anger is controlling you. And even the greed. Ano yung gusto mong kunin as greed? Greed na gusto mong ma-develop yung love kay Krishna. Hindi ka magdadamot kasi the more you give Krishna, the more you get Krishna. So be greedy. Tinatawag yung lauliam. Highest part, ano yun? The attitude of service. Kasi when you're serving Krishna with love and devotion, ano yung bibigay niya sa'yo? Money. Hindi. Bibigyan niya lalo ng service din. Bhakti begets bhakti, or service begets service. When you serve Krishna, you get much more service. You get much more connection kay Krishna. So nag-ripple, hindi siya ripple effect lang eh. Nag-multiply siya. If you're chanting, you want to connect kay Krishna, there will be service. If walang service, you beg for service. Then if you're serving, there's more service. Because that's the language of love. It's the language of love kay Krishna. Hindi siya natatapos, actually. Hindi siya parang, uy, ang dami. Kota na ako. Retire na ako sa spiritual life. Walang ganon. The more nagmamature, the more na nag-age ka, the more na mas gusto mong i-dedicate in life. But of course, kailangan natin mahanap palagi yung sweet spot na yun. Na we are not being irresponsible sa mga duties natin. So kaya nga, gawin mo ng maganda yung yung mga duties mo para magawa mo yung spiritual activities mo in the right mood. May time ka, di ba? Don't procrastinate dun sa work para may time ka mag-chant. And it will not take like 24 hours, 2 hours of sadhana. There's a very nice story about this doing the duties. May isang story ako ikukwento rin sa inyo mamaya, paalala nyo. Pero please open your cameras. Since you're chanting, we will not chant tonight. Kasi maraming questions, saka sharing, and takeaways. And I'm happy kasi okay yung internet ko ngayon kasi buong araw kanina talagang struggling siya. Hello! Ay, si Kenny pala to. Yan. Titingnan ko sa itong mga... hello. Si Kenny. So, please do your pranams. Eyes in the camera, smile in the camera. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3. One more, full screen ko lang. Hare Krishna, 1, 2, 3. I'm also humbled and honored with your presence. Maraming salamat. Again, you can remain for our questions and answers and also takeaways if you want to share your takeaways and realizations. Hare Krishna, Bhaktin Beya, Bhaktin Maui, Bhaktin Krishna, Bhaktin Dan, Bhaktin Keiko, Bhaktin Shara, Bhaktin Mara, Bhaktin Net, Bhaktin Maya, Bhaktin PY, Bhaktin Marie, Bhaktin McCoy, Bhaktin Jake, Bhaktin Joan, Bhaktin Milka, Bhaktin Kenny, Bhaktin GP. I forgot sino na sa Xiaomi. Bhaktin Xiaomi Pad 5. Hare Krishna. So, may assignments din tayo if you are not able to read that. You can watch. Alam ko mayroon pa ako mga pang film review. I'll let you know. Tapos those who will be who are requesting to attend or to join the Birch Bhakti Academy group chat, sabay-sabay ko kaya add next week. So others, I'm just waiting for others. So may mga schedule kasing announcements doon from other teachers, tapos yung mga other courses, other activities natin and services. And we'll meet other devotees as well. So yes, the Balete story. Yeah, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Nat. The Balete story. Yan. Si Balete story kasi si Lord Shiva, he's a great devotee of Krishna. Nakita niya si Lord Shiva, meron siyang chanting beats. He's not the supreme. Ibang tao, are thinking na si Lord Shiva yung Supreme Personality of Godhead. But no, he is staunch devotee of Krishna in different pastimes. Mabasa niyo yun sa Srimad Bhagavatam. And even, pinuntahan niya si Krishna sa Vrindavan. Ayaw siya papapasukin ni yung Mother Yashoda. Teka lang, pupuntahan mo yung anak ko, tapos ganyan may ash ka sa katawan, may garland of skulls ka pa. Matatakot yun. So ayaw siya papasukin ni Yashoda. Pero si Krishna, pag alam niya may mga devoting pumupunta sa kanya, baby pa siya, iyak siya ng iyak. So parang nalaman nila. Tapos, of course, nagkaroon ng arrangement, nakapag-darshan si Lord Shiva. Okay? Darshan is na meet niya. He got the sight. And it's very powerful. He got darshan kay Krishna. And even si Lord Shiva is taking shelter kay Lord Vishnu, an incarnation of Krishna. So, sobrang merciful ni Lord Shiva. He's not an ordinary demigod. Hindi siya normal na demigod. Lord Shiva will always be Lord Shiva. Hindi siya papalitan ng ibang soul. Like the other demigods sila Lord Brahma. Or, di ba, pwedeng si Dan, because of pious activities, pwede ka maging demigods next life. Yung sakit na ulo mo, mas grabe, di ba? To handle yung mga workers mo, di ba? May ganong nangyayari. Imagine kung universe handle mo, no? O kaya may department, ikaw yung Department of Fire. Ikaw yung humahawak dun sa sun. So, ganun sila. Si Lord Shiva, hindi. Lord Shiva will always be Lord Shiva. He's one of the great devotee. And he's very merciful kasi yung mga offerings na hindi pa di-offer kay Krishna, tinatanggap niya. So, we offer kay Krishna mga flowers na may scent. Kay Shiva, pwede mo offer yung yung mga flowers na walang scent. So, alam mo yun, parang tatanggap pa rin. Gumamela, favorite niya. So, even those who are demons that wants to elevate themselves to practice spirituality, they worship Shiva. Pero sometimes may motive sila, demons nga eh. They will gain mystic powers. Nakwento ko yun, di ba? Nakwento ko dito yun, yung hawakan niya yung head niya. Tapos magka-fall. So, pwedeng ibigay ni Lord Shiva yun. So, very merciful siya. So, the Shiva Muhurta is a time, 45 to 1 hour. That is the dawn, bago magabi. Tama yung dawn, yung bago magabi. No? Dusk is bago mag-umaga. Tama ba? Baliktad. Hindi alam. So, baliktad, no? The dusk is bago magabi. Dawn is bago magabi. So, the dusk. Bago magabi. Ang ginagawa ni Lord Shiva, they have parade kasama yung mga demons. So, ginaguide niya para ma-elevate nila yung sarili nila. Pin-preachingan niya yung mga demons. And si Lord Shiva palagi nag-meditate sa banyan tree, sa balete. So, nandun nakasurround yung mga demons. And, paano mangyayari na ma-elevate nila? If may mag-intercourse in that time, kaya hindi siya advice of scriptures na may intercourse, may sexual activities in that time, doon may chance yung demons na, uy, may bading pwedeng puntaan. So, doon sila nag-take shelter. So, mercy Lord Shiva yun. Kaya that time, sobrang prominent sila, sa paligid sila. Yung paggabi na. Tapos, ang mangyayari is, nasa balete kasi si Lord Shiva. So, nag-take shelter din sila sa mga balete. That explains, pati yung mga ghostly, mga ligaw na spirit andon, they're taking shelter. Baka bigyan ako ni Lord Shiva ng another body kasi mga ghost, diba? So, andun sila sa balete. But it's holy. Hindi ka pwede pumutol basta ng mga balete. Kasi si Lord Shiva, niya yun, shelter niya yun. It doesn't mean He gives shelter and mercy saka blessings sa mga ghosts and spirits. Ganun na rin siya. No. He's just merciful to them. But you don't have to worship Shiva. Yung iba nag-worship kay Shiva kasi because of yoga and all. Si Shiva, because of he is a great devotee of Krishna, ayaw niya yun. Parang, teka lang. Diba? I have Krishna. Diba? You worship Krishna, go direct kay Krishna. Nagka-chant nga ako ng Krishna, ng name ni Krishna eh. Gusto ko nga palagi pinupuntahan si Krishna. Nag-meditate si Shiva palagi. Si Krishna yung isip niya eh. So, if you have it, go. parang i-endorse ka lang din naman niya kay Krishna, di ba? So, unless you're a demon or you have a desire, material desire. So, yes, di ba, yung iba nagka-chant Om Namo Shivaya. They worship Shiva. And they use Shiva para mag-intoxicate. Si Shiva nga, di ba nakwento ko sa inyo yung mga Rastafari? Parang may trace na lang siya doon sa original Naga Babas. Nasa mga saintly person na naka-matted hairs. Tapos they smoke ganja. So, they want to be high para makakonect kay God. So, it's not sa Srimad Bhagavatam na-explain yun bakit ganun yung mga worshipper ni Shiva. Kinurse kasi siya ng father-in-law niya. So, long story yon. Pero if you want, pupunta natin siya siguro in few weeks sa Srimad Bhagavatam kasi we are in the 3rd canto. Pagdating ng 4th canto, ganun yung story nun. Yung asawa ni Shiva, si Sati. Tapos siya rin. Tapos ayaw siya invite palagi ng father-in-law niya. Kasi invite niya sa mga gathering natin eh. Nagko-cover nga siya ng ash. Yung ash na yon galing sa mga cremated beings. But he's very humble kasi si Lord Shiva. Made of gold talaga siya. Pero sobrang humble. Ayun yung disturbance. So, yan si Balete. So, don't be afraid if may ganon. May balete kayo sa bahay. Mahal daw ngayon sa mga plantito yung mga rubber tree, yung mga balete. No? Question, Prabhu, did the events in Srimad Bhagavatam happen here on Earth or another planet? It happened here on Earth. Some, discuss din doon yung nangyari sa ibang planets. And even the heavenly planets. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is very wide. So, yung Bhagavad Gita is a story lang nangyari sa Kurukshetra. Nang pumunta si Krishna doon. Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita is in the Mahabharata. Srimad Bhagavatam is wider. So, ini-discuss natin sa morning. Pero kung napapansin nyo, yung learnings, wisdom sa Bhagavad Gita, na-expound lang doon sa Srimad Bhagavatam. May connection siya na matindi. Just like, discuss natin yung other souls, di ba? Kung para tayo mag-act accordingly. Sa Srimad Bhagavatam, talaga may perfect example pa sila. But Prabhu, aren't we advised to revere and serve the devotees of the Lord? How can we serve them without offense to Krishna? We must serve Krishna and the devotees. And the guide to how to serve them is also through the scriptures. Hindi natin kailangan manghula. Like si Lord Chaitanya came here as a devotee to give us to become a role model para maging devotee, paano mag-serve. And the more nag-a-advance yung isang bhakti yogi sa path of bhakti, the more mas nagiging sweet sila. Yung divine quality nila and yung quality ni Krishna yung sweetness, mas nararamdaman mo sa kanila. Ang sweet ng taong yon. Hindi yung proud na mas marami silang alam. Those are new, or yung mga beginners. So, the more na develop yung character, yung sweetness, the more nag-advance sila. Kasi nakikita nila kung gaano ka-sweet si Krishna. And paano mag-serve talaga sa other devotees. How to take care of that relationships. Yung humility. So, we want to always be with this kind of people. So, yes, may mga offenses kasi in serving devotees, of course. It is being discussed just like the guru. We don't have to bypass the guru. That's why we must be in a humble position and not think na ordinary person lang sila. So that's one thing. Or may mga teachers or devotees na minsan may nagkakamali sila. Mayroon silang cleansing na nangyayari sa buhay nila and we're gonna judge them. Ay, hindi naman talaga siya ganito kasi ganito yung ginagawa niya. Or we judge them because of their previous lives. So may mga ganong guide. That's yama ni yama. The rules and regulations of bhakti, of yoga. So we will learn that then. Now, what you're doing, if you're chanting, if you're studying the Bhagavad Gita, unti-unti natutunan natin yun. We don't have to really force ourselves. Naturally, it will come. Naturally, the Bhagavad Gita, the teachers will reveal that to us. It's not magic then, pero tutuloy-tuloy yun. So, any more reflections, takeaway, questions? Yan. Before ko puntahan tong isang question ni back to Milka in another topic to. Any more reflections and takeaway? Yung mga hindi ko narinig kahapon, yun na wala ako. Siya sabi sa kanila sa Rani, uy, may hindi ako tuloy na kwento before about time. Si Lord Brahma, first created being. And yung timeline niya is different. Di ba pag-usapan natin yung timeline ng bacteria, few seconds, minutes lang. Si Lord Brahma, nasa tanghaling part tayo ni Lord Brahma. And few moments lang tayo ni Lord Brahma, tapos na yung earth na to. Ganun yung life niya. Ganun tayo kaliit. So there was a king, an emperor, pero wala siyang makitang perfect match doon sa princess, sa anak niya. So, ang dami nangyari. A role ng father to guide and find also the perfect match dun sa princess niya. Hindi lang pwede kung sino-sino lang, di ba? Anak siya ng emperor. So, hindi lang kung kanina lang siya pwedeng lumapit. Pumunta siya kay Lord Brahma. Pagdating niya kay Lord Brahma, si Lord Brahma busy. May ginagawa pa. So, they have to wait for some time. Tapos, nung kinausap na sila ni Lord Brahma, yung king saka yung princess. How could I be of service? And then explain ng king, ganito yung sitwasyon. We've done a lot of things, pero we don't find any qualified prince para maging partner ng anak ko. Sabi ni Lord Brahma, because you went here and you waited for 30 minutes or so, actually, pag bumaba ka na uli sa earth, wala na nakakilala sa inyo. Ganun na yung time na nag-pass. Di ba si Einstein may ganitong theory of relativity? Iba yung time, di ba? So sa Vedas, andun siya. Kasi iba yung time doon, nag-expand din yung time. Pagbalik niyo doon, ibang yuga na, ibang era na. So pagbalik nga nila, wala na nakakilala sa kanila. And meron lang isa. Ito yung princess saka yung king na hindi nakabalik dati. Pero hindi lang nila matrace yung mga kamag-anak nila. And iba na yung time na yun, mas maliliit na yung mga tao, like us. Diba, mas maliit na tayo. Previous yugas, previous eras, mas malaki sila. Diba, yung mga status, diba, ganon. So, ganun yung mga tao dati. Sila malaki sila. Luckily, pagdating nila rito, si Krishna sa kasi Balaram, yung kapatid niya, andito rin. So, same pa rin, binigay pa rin ni Lord Brahma yung desire nila na magkaroon ng perfect match yung princess. Ang problema, si Lord Balaram, pumunta siya rito, sa kasi Krishna, medyo yung range ng height nila, kapareho ng mga same tao dito. So, yung era ng Bhagavad Gita. So, these emperor saka princess from previous yugas or eras, yung era na yun, nasa, how do you call this? 500 to 1 million thousand years bago mag-change yung era or tinatawag siyang yuga. Y-U-G-A. So, ginawa ni Lord Balaram, si Krishna may flute, di ba? Si Lord Balaram, yung kapatid niya, meron siyang plow. Yung ginagamit sa farming. So, kinuha niya yung plow niya, nilagay niya doon sa princess, sinatak niya pababa, pinaliit niya. Oh, that's Lord Balaram, expansion of Krishna, kapatid niya. That's Revati. So, sila yung naging partner, si Revati sa si Balaram. So, same thing. Same thing yung nangyari, yung desire nila nangyari. And, sino yung naging partner niya? Yung kapatid ni Krishna mismo. And that's time, di ba? Irrelevant na siya. Nangyayari yung mga bagay-bagay na yun, naging irrelevant siya. Pagdaan ng time. Yung gustong-gusto mo dati, na 3210, na cellphone, na pinag-ipunan mo. Yung ibang era na mas bata, hindi ko naman naabutan nyo na yun. Naabutan nyo yun. Diba? Immortal yun, di ba? Kahit anong baksak mo, hindi masisira yun. Sa akin, 3310. Diba? Magkakalas-kalas lang yung mga casing, pero true time, wala na. Di ba? Hindi mo na siya trip ngayon. So, ito yung time. Questioning back to Milka. Did Lord Nishingadev appear here on Earth too, and also Krishna's form, Lord Jagannath? Sorry po, too many questions. Thank you for everything. So this is maybe too much for others. These other forms of Krishna, Lord Nishingadev and Lord Jagannath. We will learn that in the future. So I would answer that next time, Milka. But yes, nangyari siya dito sa Earth na to. So because maraming universes. But you cannot um limit yung scriptures na nasa Earth lang to. So the relevance na ito is kahit mangyari sa ibang Earth, sa ibang universe, same. Si Krishna pa rin yun. If Krishna, sabi ni Ken, if Krishna was not the last incarnation, why he the focus of devotion? Buddha was the next incarnation, right? Yes. Ang ganda question ni Kenny. Si Buddha was also an incarnation of Krishna with a different purpose. Bakit siya yung focus on devotion? Because Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Godhead siya. So lahat ng incarnation ni Krishna, lahat ng incarnation galing kay Krishna. Even si Lord Buddha. And si Lord Buddha, ang purpose, kwento natin mamaya. So basically, lahat ng incarnation, si Krishna yung Godhead. And that relationship of intimacy, of that 5 relationship kay Krishna, magagawa mo kay Krishna lang. The rest, hindi. Kay Lord Buddha, you cannot have the intimate, friendly relationship. Walang ganun pasim si Lord Buddha. He's a teacher. Own reverence ka kay Lord Buddha. So, devotion is limited. Hindi mo magagawa yung friendly relationship na anak mo siya or lover kayo kasi si Buddha is a monk. Wala siyang intimate lang. So kaya ayun yung ultimate focus ng devotion is si Krishna. Bhakti is directed kay Krishna. And hindi sa iba. Hindi na pupunta sa iba. So these are the topics kaya natin inaaral yung Bhagavad Gita. Sino yung object of devotion, object of love? Sino yung Godhead? Kanino galing to sila mga to? And one must understand the purpose of these incarnations like si Lord Nishingadev, Lord Jagannath. During the time na previous yuga, Satya Yuga, ito yung sinasabi kong era, 4 yon. Satya Yuga, Tetra Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. Sadly, sa Kali Yuga tayo. Kali Yuga means age of hypocrisy and quarrel. Hypocrisy, nakita nyo yung ibang leaders, ito yung ginagawa nila, ito yung sinasabi nila, iba yung ginagawa. Quarrel, lahat na lang pinag-aawayan. So, laging ganito, di ba? Previously, mas maganda yung buhay nila. Mas saintly, mas prominent yung Krishna consciousness, then unti-unti mawawala. Ito rin yung sinasabi kong yung Satya Yuga, nasa ibang planet yung demons, tapos nasa ibang island, tapos nasa ibang tao, tapos Kali Yuga, nasa loob ng tao na rin. So, pinapractice yung Vedas prominent sa buong Mahabharat, yung buong mundo. Kasi yung mga kings, inalagaan nila, pinaprotect nila to. Sadly, may mga demoniac kings na napunta sa positions and napabayaan nila yung following ng Vedas. Tapos, there are practice in the yagnas in the Vedas that you could sacrifice animals. This is for the purpose para i-elevate mo yung life nila. Yung priest, yung brahmana will whisper, I will kill you now, but next life you have to kill me. Tapos, if one have desire to eat meat, meron lang certain animal na pwede mo kainin. And ang daming kondisyones. You have to kill it by yourself, na once a month lang. Tapos, ayun nga, ikaw yung pumatay, ikaw rin yung papatay ng karma na yun, yung that's goat. Ikaw rin papatayin na yun. So, iikot lang siya ng ikot. So, this is for one to be elevated again. That's why nasa Vedas pa rin siya. So, halos lahat na sa Vedas, kahit hindi Krishna conscious, paano ka pala pumunta doon, may guide na. The only thing is, nag-water down na nga yung pag-follow ng Vedas. People are not, in their right minds anymore. So, they're using that excuse to enjoy meat. Doon nagsimula yung meat eating. They're using that part ng scriptures ng Vedas para mag-enjoy. Tapos hanggang may slaughterhouses na. This is for sacrifice. So Buddha came, Krishna's incarnation. Ay bago pa dumating si Buddha, nasa scriptures na siya. He will incarnate as Buddha. So ganun ka-authority yung scriptures. Kung pupunta si Krishna, as different personalities andun siya. So hindi ka pwede magpanggap na incarnation ka pag wala ka sa scriptures. Tapos may time doon kung some family ka, anong pangalan ng parents mo, anong pangalan ng bayan mo. So very detailed. So si Buddha came for the purpose na sinabi niya sa mga tao, don't follow Vedas. And he taught impersonalism. Siya yung nagturo ng mga light, ng follow the light. Kasi atheistic na sila halos kasi they don't have the faith, they're just using that for excuse. Just like yung nangyari ngayon, they're using religion to colonize countries, to control, to get money. Diba? So, ganun yung ginawa ni Krishna as Lord Buddha para yung mga tao magkaroon ng faith sa Kanya. Sige, don't follow this. Just follow me. Then meditate on the light. But perform ahimsa, non-violence. So, kaya yung originally yung mga Buddhists, plant-based sila, vegetarian talaga sila. Nag-water down na rin ngayon, di ba? Hindi na rin lahat. So, after some time, bumaba ulit si Krishna bumaba si Lord Shiva as Shankaracharya. So, unti-unti niya binabalik yung mga tao from impersonalist, magiging Maya body. Actually, God lahat kayo. So, saan niya rin galing yon? May purpose din na ginawa si Krishna. Then after some time, bumaba si Madhavendra Puri, then si Lord Chaitanya, the latest incarnation ni Krishna, para ibalik lahat sila sa Vedas. Kumbaga, ni-restart niya. Pero hindi mabilis. Hundreds of years in difference. Ni-restart niya. Tapos hanggang ngayon, yung pina-follow natin is because of Lord Chaitanya's incarnation and teachings. So may purpose. So hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, hindi totoo yan, hindi totoo yung Diyos niyo, or hindi totoo yung messenger niyo. May mga purpose. Ang problema, hindi naiintindihan properly. Because walang teacher, walang scriptures, they don't understand, or the scripture itself is watered down na, or are watered down na. So that's Lord Buddha. So yeah, medyo i-discuss sa Srimad Bhagavatam yon. Medyo mas mahabang story siya. Bakit si Lord Buddha umalis dun sa kingdom? Kasi tinago sa kanya yung birth, old age, disease, and death. Paglabas niya, nakakita siya ng pinapanganak, may sakit, di ba? And he wants to teach and learn. And he got enlightenment. But of course, that's Krishna himself then. So, ayun yung purpose niya. Not to give devotion. He gave impersonalistic philosophy. So, yung mga meron tayo dito, yung personalism natin, galing sa kanya yun. Yung mga traces. So, we're removing that kasi tapos na yung era na yun. We're going back kay Krishna through bhakti. So, si Buddha is nagme-meditate siya. Hindi siya nag-yoga asana. Diba? Iba minimix-mix nila. Yung yoga asana galing kay Buddha, yung practice ng Buddhism and yoga. No, hindi ganun. I've been through one island sa China. Gusto nilang gawing made in China yung yoga. Ang funny nun. Sa ano yan eh. Isang island nila, parang Boracay type nila. Kasi in-invite nila yung mga ibang yogis. Alam mo yung China, lahat gusto nilang made in China. Sabi nga God created the earth. The rest made in China. So yeah, knowing, di ba, ang sarap malaman yung history. Bakit ganito? And alam mo yun, yung mga tao kasi mini-mix match na lang tapos nagiging chop suey na lahat. Halo-halo na. Ang sarap malaman yung root cause. And hopefully nasagot ko yung question mo, Kenny. Ang haba ng sagot ko, no? So si Krishna, ever since we discussed the sweetness of Krishna, water tastes very sweet for me. Yeah. Diba? Sana hindi lasang chlorine. Dito merong nakuha silang water from underground tapos so may Evian water kami sa faucet namin dito. Galing sa nature. Very, very powerful ang ano, very powerful ang water. It absorbs the consciousness. Di ba may study na ganon? Nagbigay sila sa different classes ng energy, ng mga bad words, bad energy. Tapos tinignan sa microscope, nag-iba yung form. Tapos yung isa nagbigay sila ng mga good energy. So imagine kapag prasadam, yung water lang yun, di ba? Para pag ganun pa yung intention mo sa food. From Jake, how about the other figures ng different religions like Jesus, Allah? Can they be considered as Krishnas in reincarnation? I think George Harrison mentioned something about it sa intro ng Chant and Be Happy. So yes, from the scriptures, there are scriptures. You would see the Son of God, Jesus Christ. He's praying to the Father, diba? Forgive them for they don't know what they're doing. He's praying to someone. He did not claim also that he is God. So that's why the name, the Father, the Son, siya yung Son. So siya rin, he doesn't want to play God, doesn't claim to be God. He's an empowered soul, Jesus Christ. Krishna sent him. God sent him. He mentioned, hallowed be thy name. Diba? You chant Krishna's name. Or if you have any name, then chant it. Diba? If you don't have any name, sabi nga ni Shri Prabhupada, if you don't have any name to chant, then chant Krishna's name. And even Allah. Allah is the, ano ni Allah? Messenger? Anong title na, ano niya? So same, diba? I know, that's Muhammad. Then tawag nila kay Allah or Yahweh. Diba? Yung mga names ni God. Allah is another name ni God. And Krishna have unlimited names. Si Krishna yun, hindi mo pwede siyang limitahan ng name. Diba? Just like an ocean. Mabibilang ang analogy doon, mabibilang mo ba yung waves ng ocean? Hindi. Gano'n kadami yung reincarnation and names ni Krishna. Unlimited. Siya yun eh. But of course, his ultimate name, original form niya, 200 form, that's Krishna. All attractive one. So yeah, minention ni George Harrison sa Chant and Be Happy yun. You can chant any name. Yeah, chant it. Be Krishna conscious. Para ito yun, by example, Sri Prabhupada during that time. If you practice different spirituality, walang problema. Just practice this very well, especially if you're surrounded by those who practice it. If that practice brings you closer to God, then that's good for you. Siyempre, kailangan mo hanapin sino yung mga tao na palaging nagka-practice nun. Diba? Nandun yung character. They're very addicted to God. So if wala ka mahanap, tignan mo yung mga devotee ni Krishna. Alam mo gano'n sila ka-addict. Chant sila ng chant palagi. Diba? Lagi sila nagka-chant ng Hare Krishna. Lagi sila kumakata ng Hare Krishna. Lagi sila nagbabasa about Krishna. O sino dito before nag-chant ng rosary araw-araw? Bukod sa school. Okay lang, aminin nyo na. Diba? Di ba may time lang sa Sacred Heart Bea, di ba? May month lang na mag-rosary araw-araw. Di ba? Tapos naka-load pa kayo. So same, di ba? Kailan mo gagawin din yon. So that's the thing. Walang problema naman, you can choose. Pero if you have this na would bring you closer to God, kung anong practice, then go. Kaya yung Krishna consciousness is non-sectarian. It's not a religion. It's not a group na ito lang. If you don't have any choice, then practice it fully kung ano yung makuha mo. So, yeah. If you want, yun nga, like dun sa worship kay Jesus, basahin din yung Bible. Study the Bible. Live mo yung life ng Bible. Which is sinabi rin naman eh. What you sow, so shall you reap. That's still karma. Diba? The only thing is how to find the legit, authentic Bible translation. So, alam mo yung binabasa mo. Kasi, ayun nga eh. Some will just pick a verse there, then, andun na lahat. Puro opinion na. Opinionated na. And they also fight with each other kasi based on this opinion. So yeah, again, the practice of Krishna consciousness is not to hate other practices. So that will be against nung sweetness ni Krishna. Hindi gusto ni Krishna yun. Go practice. Kaya nga ginawa ni Krishna yung different part ng, pwede namang gawin niya na walang ibang practices eh. In the Satya Yuga, ganon. Kali Yuga, marami na. Kasi iba-ibang purpose. Kasi Jesus Christ, andun siya sa mga fisherman eh. Diba? Di turuan niya mag-fish. Magkuha ng fish. Pero sabi nung iba, vegetarian daw si Jesus Christ. I don't know kung saan nila galing yun. Sabi nung mga Adventist. Seventh-day Adventist, di ba? Mga vegetarian sila. Verona. Ano ba yun? Isa sa Verona. Manila Sanitarium. Pag doon ka ng hospital, yung si-serve sa'yo, vegetarian. So yeah, Vipassana. Vipassana, I think, is a practice of Buddhist, no? Meditation ng mga Buddhist. Lahat na lang. Ano yung lahat na lang? Sorry, nalita ko ah. Ano to ba? Lahat na lang.
Lahat na lang.
Yes, pero how about Vishnu? Okay. Vishnu, this is discussed sa Srimad Bhagavatam. Sige, I'll show you something. Ang lalalim ng mga tanong niyo, ah. Pero it's good to know them. Sino si Vishnu? Si Lord Brahma. Si Lord Brahma is a demigod. Siya yung architect. He is just the secondary creator. And sa material world lang sila nag-create. Even Lord Vishnu. Kaya si Krishna pa rin yung Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ang daming topic pero pati sa time. So this is pertaining to Kenny's follow-up question. This is Swayam Rupa or Krishna. From Krishna, he incarnated himself. Ito, this is Balaram. And then another different kind of Vishnu. So sa spiritual world to. Then, of course, dumating na si three kinds of Vishnu. So, don't be bothered and overwhelmed. Di-discuss natin to next time. So, ito yung different Vishnus. Maha-Vishnu, dun lumabas sa pores, yung mga universes. Then, bawat universe, nandun si Vishnu as Garbhodakasha Vishnu. Lumabas sa navel niya, yung lotus flower. Dun pinanganak si Lord Brahma. So, si Lord Brahma, hindi siya Supreme Personality of God. He's a demigod. First created being. So, that clears yung question kung siya yung Supreme. Si Lord Vishnu, hindi rin. Kasi siya yung incarnation ni Krishna. He is considered as Supreme Personality of Godhead, but the source pa rin niya is si Krishna. The Swayam Rupa. Here. And other incarnation and devotees are here. So, different incarnation ni Krishna. Some are saying si Jesus Christ is just like Satyavest avatar or empowered na avatar na sinet ni Krishna. Empowered soul. That's why, yeah, he touched hanggang ngayon, everyone's heart. Yan, pilit ng mami, yes. Pilit ng mami, ano to sa rosary. October, month of the Holy, yes, October yon, month of the Holy Rosary. Tapos pag graduate mo, Oktoberfest naman, month of beer naman, no? Nung nasa school ka pa, rosary ka, pag graduate mo, hindi na. Tapos sige ito, Mara, tapos you can read. Ang dami nyo palang message, no? Pag field trip to, mag-rosary sa bus, tapos pasahan ng mic. Di ba? Tapos yung mga, kailangan kabisado mo pa yung mga, ano ba tawag doon? Di ba? May mga parang middle beats sila. Misery, ano? Miseries? Mysteries o miseries? Ay, mga miseries. I was born there. Saan, ano? Milka. Nalagpas ako ng nalagpasan. Okay, pag di-memorize. Oh. Sanitarium. Okay. So, yes. Oh. Manila Sanitarium. Sila yung mga OG na mga fake meats dito sa Pilipinas. Di ba? Mga fake mga veggie tocino. Classic yon. For mysteries. Yan. Baka last nyo pa alam, Prabhu. Yung 3 pa. So, yan. Dati kabisado ko yung bata ko, yung mga mysteries na to. Hindi na. So, yes, Mara, please.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Okay, I have two questions. So, first is what do you call this? Diba, we also have that collective karma, 'di ba? And because of that collective karma, like does how much of an effect does that have with our, our journey, our seeking for like that liberation from the tree? Or is it more of like mas malaki pa rin yung individual na karma natin, like yung individual journey? Or ano ba yun,
Mm.
may, like if we were to quantify it, parang ilang percent yung collective,
Mm.
kasi 'di ba we're all, there's a reason why we were all born in this lifetime. And given how everything, just like everything now is just like it, ang lakas ng influence ng material world, won't it be hard, like won't it be harder for us to understand the collective karma na
Nakakabitin yung question yung ano, nabitin sa gitna. I'll wait for Mara to come back. Kala ko ako lang eh. So let's see kung eto, bumabalik na siya. Yung alter ego niya, nasa na siya? Ah,
Okay. Hi,
yeah.
Rose. Sorry, namatay yung laptop ko.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm switching it on now. But yeah, how big of an impact does the collective karma have with our individual
Hmm.
journeys? So yun. And
Sige,
then
sige.
second question is, are the things that we are attracted to, the or like people we're attracted to, let's say movies, or let's say even like celebrities, ganito ganyan, is it possible that we also had connections with them from previous lives?
Asawa mo
So
pala yung
yeah,
K-pop
yun yung
na
question.
pinapanood mo, no? Previous,
Oh my
ano
God,
pala?
sana hindi. Pero hindi, ayoko isipin ng gano'n. But like, at kasi parang napaisip ako no, na parang, bakit yung preference natin? Like, where did the standards of beauty come from? How, bakit iba-iba yung preference natin with attraction? So
So
yun,
yes,
wala
yes,
lang.
sige.
Ano lang.
Ang ganda nun, ang ganda nun. First, of course, is yung collective karma. Actually, this is all individual karmas. Very unique about soul. Walang parehong soul talaga. O kahit na soulmate kayo, parehas na kayo ng mga sigurong crime saka mga good things na ginawa niyo dati. Partners in crime din kayo. Pero collective karma is, mangyayari yon, ina-arrange lang siya ni material nature. So, parang ano, parang sweldo, di ba? Lahat kayo sweldo the same day. Pero iba-iba kayo ng ginawa. Pero same day yung quincenas, di ba? 30th, di ba? So, lahat kayo makaka-receive. So, iba-ibang department yung pinagtrabaho nyo, pero lahat kayo makaka-receive. So, sweldo yun, no? So, yeah, ayun yung isang part na yun na lahat kayo makaka-receive nun sabay-sabay. And in connection dun kay Kenny, yes, lahat ng mga wars, calamities, these are collective karmas. Yes, hindi pwedeng sabihin, hindi masama si Hitler kasi ginawa niya yun. He could be the agent or choice niya yon para mangyari din yon. So like, mas madali tanggapin kasi kapag kapag natural calamity, di ba? Tsunami, yung vulkan, di ba? Bagyo, kasi nature, pwedeng ganon. Pwedeng gamitin ng material nature yung tao para gumawa nun. Pandemic. Kasi naging collective lang siya kasi sabay-sabay. Di ba? So, ginawang ganon. Pero we have our all individual karmas, good and bad. So, we could not trace na bago ba tong karma na to or umuulit lang dati. But our thinking should be always, I might done something before. So, kung nangyayari to, it humbles me and I should act accordingly. So, hindi na siya umulit. Pero it doesn't mean hindi mo na kailangan mag-ingat. Diba? Hindi. Kung mamamatay ako, karma ko talaga. Feeling ko hindi ako mabibigyan dito. Hindi ako kailangan evacuate. Sabi ni Radha Charoc, collective karma, hindi ako kasama doon, si Krishna bahala sa akin. That's foolishness. Di ba? Define yourself, di ba? Umutok na yung vulkan, di ba? Kaya umuulan na, di ba? So same thing, you have to use our intelligence. It's not just fanaticism or blind faith. So that answers the katapat dinesi chain ko lang din yung kay Kenny na even this mga wars, the greatest holocaust yung mga nangyari is Bhagavad Gita. Walang makakatalo sa greatest na war sa Bhagavad Gita. I think that's 650 million soldiers died. Nagkaroon ng rivers of blood. Gano'n kadami namatay doon. And it took them many days to give the last right para sa mga soldiers na yun. Ito talaga yung holy war kasi they're fighting para magkaroon ng emperor, ng mga holy. Tawag nila mga Raja Rishi, saintly emperor, saintly kings. Di ba ngayon, iniwalay nila yung spirituality sa yung leadership para magawa nila yung sariling nila. Kasi hindi na siya jive. So previously, ganun. The second question is yung taste natin sa mga bagay-bagay. These are conditionings. Upbringings or attachment natin even previous lives. Like upbringings ng, alam mo yung binombard ka ng Philippines na ng media na maganda yung maputi saka straight yung hair. Matangos na ilong, di ba? Tapos punta ka sa Europe, di ba? Exotic ka, poging-pogi ka dun sa Europe. Kagulong ka ng mga European. Kasi ganun yung gusto nila, di ba? Ganung kulay, di ba? Ganung face. I have a lot of friends sa mga artists kapag nag-residency sila sa Europe residency, tapos gagawa sila ng art show doon. Dito sakto lang sila sa mga art galleries, art show. Hindi sila bida. Pagdating daw doon, grabe, pinagkakaguluhan siya. So same thing, different types kasi ganun yung binibigay ng media. Di ba uso yung skinny, di ba? Tapos biglang uso naman yung curvy ka, tapos skinny uli, di ba? Ito lang yung waist mo, di ba? It will be hard kapag nando ka sa industry na very much prominent yung ganitong judgment. Wala tayong magagawa. You can fight for it. Pero may ganun talaga. Although, pinakamagandang person is si Krishna. Kaya all attractive. Siya yung basis ng beauty. Sa kanya nanggaling lahat ng beauty. Even nga si Cupid, sobrang attracted sa kanya, di ba? So yan, happy Valentine's. So ganun si taste natin. Sa mga bagay-bagay, sa food, di ba? Sa music, based on our own experience, di ba? We want, alam mo yung expressive, you like hard rock, di ba? You want poetic, di ba? You like yung mga rap songs or mga classical, di ba? Or emo ka lang, gusto mong, nakagaling yung hair mo. So same thing, different tastes. These are conditionings. It might have some trace before or this life, or it could just change. So it will be wise if hindi tayo attached din sa mga to. You know, the real attachment natin si Krishna. Hindi ibig sabihin tatanggalin mo ng mga yon, di ba? Just like, yung iba ginagamit yun, like, okay, may reggae na kirtan, so even the music, the vibes, ma-attract sila sa kirtan. May acoustic, may meditative, may rock, di ba? Nakaban talaga sila. So, hindi nakasubjected yung mga to sa other flavors. Sabi nga nila, sabi sa scriptures, variety is the mother of enjoyment. Like arts. Like food. Anong favorite mong food, Mara? Favorite mong fruit na lang?
Strawberry.
Okay. Bibigyan natin ng 3 years supply ng strawberry pero yun ang kakainin mo. Di ba?
Okay lang. Hindi na lang.
Kasi walang
Papamigay
variety. Exactly. Di ba? Walang variety. So same thing. This, si Krishna full of variety. Relationship, pastimes, di ba? His greatness. So, mas ma-attract ka sa kanya. Hindi ka mabuburi dun sa, isipin mo yung light lang, di ba? Pag gabi nga gusto mo patay yung ilaw, nanisilaw ka, or pag may migraine ka. Isipin mo forever ka sa light, lumulutang ka lang dun. So, si Krishna is full of variety. You offer him flowers. And si Srimati Radharani yung partner niya, yung lover niya. Also, expansion ni Krishna. He's always cooking for Krishna pero walang naulit na luto. Hanggang ngayon nagluluto pa rin siya kay Krishna. Walang naulit. Lahat bago. This is the offering of art and love kay Krishna. So that's variety. So tayo may ganun din. Kaya nag-enjoy tayo sa arts. Nag-enjoy tayo sa music. Imagine kung music, one note lang. Di ba? Parang hindi siya music. Ingay lang siya. Or white noise lang siya. Diba? So may variety. Tapos pag naging harmonious yun. So ganun din yung mga taste natin. Sa beauty, sa food. Di ba? Anong masarap, anong hindi. So it's all in the mind. Mind could, tinnitus lang yan. Meron ka lang ringing sa ear mo. So, mind is as accepting and rejecting. So, yeah, be attracted kay Krishna. Sa stories niya. Walang ibang mas gaganda sa stories ng romantic stories ni Krishna sa ni Radharani. Sa adventure nila sa Bhagavad Gita sa Mahabharat. Sa mga plot twist sa mga nangyari. Sa mga mysticism, sa mga mystic powers, walang gaganda sa mga stories ni Krishna. I love movies. Quentin Tarantino, Danny Boyle, Guy Ritchie. I love films. Diba? Nakita niyo si Sarah. Si Shara. So, yung mga taong to, diba? Pero pag nabasa mo yung story ni Krishna, kakaroon ng higher taste sa story. Parang mawala kang gana pag nanood ka ng mga ibang war films, mga ganun. Or mga love stories. Ganda ng love story ni Krishna. Tingnan natin kung may oras pa tayo, pero si Krishna dan si Bea. Nasagot ko ba yung question mo? Questions.
Yes po. Thank you.
Hare
Hi,
Krishna.
Krishna.
Krishna, please.
Hi, Prabhu. I think my question was sort of answered by your answer to Mara. But my question was, what do the scriptures have to say? And what about, like, I was wondering then, like, does the scriptures have anything to say about the era we're living now, which is like social media and cell phones, and like people have to like really be informed about things. Like that's the norm in society now. Like you have to be well informed. You have to like know the people who are in fame. Like that's part of how you're accepted in society. So do the scriptures have anything to say?
So yes, actually, this were discussed sa Kali Yuga. If you want to see the future, read the Srimad Bhagavatam. So may characteristic yung Kali Yuga. I'm just pulling out yung verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, there's yung later part ng, di ba yung inaaraw natin tuwing morning? Yung later part nun, gonna be discussing about the Kali Yuga. Kung, like power, kung sino may pera, sila may power. And the beauty, or ginagamit nila yung sex for relationships. The religious leaders are also hypocrites. Lahat yun in-discuss doon. Even yung technology, they're just basing on technology. Actually, if you studied astronomy, there are lower planetary systems, may layer doon na sobrang technologically advanced sila. Nasa hell ka pero sobrang technologically advanced. And the leaders are demoniacs. They just want money and all. Lahat yung diniscuss doon. So you don't need conspiracy theories. Nasa Srimad Bhagavatam siya. Maybe not in details kung anong pangalan ng phone na lumabas ngayon. Pero how people thinks, thousands of years alam nila yung mangyayari yun. And that's why si Krishna nag-incarnate as Vyasadeva to write this Bhagavatam. Previously, the Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam, the scriptures are being told through hearing. And they are Shrutidar. Once you hear, photographic memory kagad. Once lang, kaya mo na ulitin. So they pass down through a memory, teachers to disciples. Then they know it will happen, yung magiging memory ng tao. So they have to put it in books. So, nasulat yon yung Srimad Bhagavatam 5,000 years ago, kinumpal ni. Pero hindi ganun katagal lang yung scriptures. It is eternal. So, alam nila yung mangyayari in the future. Kali Yuga is we are at the Kali Yuga already. Pero nasa 5,000 years pa lang tayo. Start ng Kali Yuga yung pagpunta ni Krishna rito and yung pag-alis niya, that's the start of the Kali Yuga. And how long is the Kali Yuga? 430 or 65 years. 465, 400,000 plus years. Nasa 5,000 pa lang tayo. And after Kali Yuga, yung mga tao maliliit na, hanggang 10 years na lang sila. Di ba ngayon paunti na paunti? Yung mga lolo natin umabot ng 90. Ngayon yung mga tito natin nasa 80, 70, 60 na lang. Deads na. Yung friends mo na nasa 40 years old, meron na silang high blood. Yung 30 years old, meron na silang diabetes. Paiksi na paiksi yung life. Sa end of Kali Yuga, 10 years na lang. Tapos, the earth is not giving the fruits, herbs, and vegetables. And they will need to eat each other. Tapos wala na mga devotee nun. Yung ibang devotees, they will hide in the caves kasi they're being eaten. So that's why we don't want na mag-incarnate pa tayo na mag-incarnate. Imagine mo pag next na birth mo, after punta mo yung mga ibang animals, saka maging puno ka and all. Next na birth mo ng tao, ganun doon ka sa level na yon, na ganun ka sa age na yon, that will be worse. Diba? And Krishna yung next incarnation ni Krishna, pupunta siya as Lord Kalki. He will kill everyone. And that will be the start again ng Satya Yuga. That's the partial annihilation. Then Satya Yuga ulit. Cycle ulit. So, even yung mayroon tayo rito ngayon, the pandemic, diba? And magsusunod-sunod pa yon, magiging normal yon. Yung mga bad omens na nangyari, earthquakes, volcanoes, dati hindi nangyayari yon. So, sabi nga nila, may pinapanganak na demons. So, pinanganak si ganun ka mind blown si Srimad Bhagavatam. Kumbaga, kung gusto mo ng talaga out of this world, di bibigay sa'yo ng psychedelic trip yon. Read the Srimad Bhagavatam ng Bhagavad Gita. Hopefully hindi ko na-answer yung question mo, Krisha, kung ang gano'ng kadami. Pero, yeah, sobrang yon. May chapter sa Srimad Bhagavatam. So, let's see kung Pero if you want to, prediction of Kali Yuga in Srimad Bhagavatam. Symptoms of of Kali Yuga. So, ito. I'll send the link dito, library. Sa 12 canto, 12 chapter ng Srimad Bhagavatam doon. Wealth alone will be considered the sign of man's good birth. Sakit lang ito. Share screen ko. So, yan. Religion, truthfulness, cleanliness, tolerance, mercy, duration of life, physical strength, and memory will all diminish day by day because of powerful influence of Age of Kali. Wealth alone will be considered the sign of man's good birth. Mabait yung tao, okay, good birth pag mayaman siya. Proper behavior, fine qualities, law and justice will be applied only on the basis of one's power. Nangyayari na ngayon yun, di ba? Men and women will live together merely because of superficial attraction. And success in business will depend on deceit. Womanliness and manliness will be judged according to one's expertise in sex. And a man will be known as a brahmana just by wearing a thread. Or yung mga priests, so may thread, Brahman thread. Si Buddha may Brahman thread din. So they could just wear it, pero the quality is not there. A person's spiritual position will be ascertained merely according to external symbols. And on that same basis, people will change from one spiritual order to the next. A person's propriety will be seriously questioned if he does not earn a good living. And one who is very clever and juggling words will be considered a learned scholar. So, daming pseudo-gurus ngayon, di ba? They will answer you with different answers using different thesaurus words. Sila magiging leader. Pero yung buhay nila, hindi nila nililive. Oh, it makes sense. Kasi si Krishna nagsabi nun eh. So imagine, pass down to 5,000 years ago. 100 years ago, iba yung meron ngayon. So it's happening. So, di ba, yung mga tao, they will have spiritual symbols. Tatuwa ng Om, tatuwa ng mga chakra sa likod. Diba? Suot ka ng japa mala mo as fashion. Yes, they will jump. So, like, mixture ng mga practices, di ba? Naging chapsuy na. Nangyayari ngayon, like sa yoga, halo-halo. A person will be just unholy if he does not have money, and hypocrisy will be accepted as virtue. Marriage will be arranged simply by verbal agreement, and hindi na nga eh. Nag-swipe na lang sila ngayon sa relationship, di ba? Swipe right. A person will think that he is fit to appear in public if he has merely taken a bath. Kahit di naliligo, di ba? Lumalabas sila. So, so yeah. Take a bath every day. So, hindi ko napapaalala sa inyo araw-araw. Yun na, chanting na napapaalala ko. Yung pagligo kayo na bahala doon. A sacred place will be taken to consist of no more than a reservoir of water located at a distance. So, nagiging tourist destination lang yung sacred places. Yeah. In going to sacred places, we must hear yung words ng saintly person. Ngayon, hindi na. As Earth thus becomes crowded with a corrupt population, however, among any of the social classes shows himself to be strongest will gain political power. Hindi na leadership qualities, saintly qualities. Basta meron siyang power, magiging e-elect siya as leader. Hindi na qualities, di ba? Fame na lang. Losing their wives and properties to such avaricious and merciless rulers who will behave no better than ordinary thieves. Look at, sino yung mga greatest thieves? The citizen will flee to the mountains and forests. Takas na sila. Harassed by famine and excessive taxes, people will resort to eating leaves, roots, flesh, and wild honey, fruits, flower, and seeds. Struck by drought, they will become completely ruined. So, different centuries, walang mga global warming. It will get worse. Citizens will suffer greatly from cold, wind, heat, rain, and snow. They will be further tormented by quarrels, hunger, thirst, disease, and severe anxiety. The maximum duration of life for human beings in Kali Yuga will become 50 years. So, mag-degrade pa na mag-degrade yan. Hanggang maging 10 na lang. The Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of God, the spiritual master of all moving and non-moving living and beings, and the supreme soul of all, takes birth to protect the principles of religion, to relieve his saintly devotees from reactions of material work. Lord Kalki, next incarnation niya, sinabi niya, will appear in the home of the most eminent Brahmana. Ato, di ba, sabi ko, pati bayan, pati yung village niya. Great soul, ito yung dad niya, father niya. So, si Lord Kalki. After all the impostor kings have been killed, the residents of the cities and towns will feel the breezes carrying the most sacred fragrance of the sandalwood paste and other decorations of Lord Vasudeva, and their minds will thereby become transcendental pure. So, ito na yun. Lord Kalki will kill all of the demonia, almost all the residents. So, yeah, if you want to read this is the Srimad Bhagavatam 12th Canto, Chapter 2. Send natin sa ano. So, if you want to see the other pictures and all, the whole Srimad Bhagavatam to study this, let me know. There are library of books. Like yun dito. Doon. End of the world prediction 2012. They miscalculated everything. They're using the Mayan calendar, but it's not true. Tapos they call it Kali Yuga. So, because they don't have scriptures. But traces pati yung civilization ng mga Mayan sa mga Mayan are coming from isang village, big kingdom. And it was traced kasi galing yun. If you read scriptures, makikita yun. Yes, Bea, please.
Hello. Hare Krishna, everyone. Before I proceed po to my question, I just wanted to have a little digestion lang ng kakabasa natin. Kasi, what? Pero, at the same time, I don't know if this is okay, pero I just had this thought na I wanted to, kasi I saw some parallels with yung, kunyari, Judgment Day of Catholics, right? I feel like why this feels more overwhelming and also more real is that you can see how they, kumbaga, end quote unquote, end of the world comes because of us, and that makes it feel more real. Kasi parang on both scriptures you have the God na siya yung nagbe-bring upon nung destruction, or yung parang choice na we have to make a new world kasi hindi na okay. Pero kasi yung dito sa scriptures na to, you could see na napunta doon dahil sa gawa ng tao. Iba kasi yung dating kapag na-realize mo na tayo. Tayo pala yung, like, it's also scary to read the scriptures nung kabila na with like the raining of fire and everything, na syempre nakakatakot yun, pero it feels much more real and scary when you realize na dahil sa atin, kaya magkakaganon. Kaya feeling ko, ayun lang, na-overwhelm lang ako. Anyway, yung question ko po is, earlier with the karma, diba? I wanted to know like where the fine line is between karma and taking accountability and just, like evil in general. Kasi parang, kunyari with collective karma, let's say you have like a president or a politician na hindi okay, has brought upon like a lot of not okay things to the people. Like, asan yung line between, baka karma natin yan, dun sa accountability nung tao na he did wrong? Like,
Mm-hmm.
meron bang gano'n, or is it really just karma? Kasi parang I feel like it's so easy tuloy to bypass. Kasi if you were like a not good person, parang it's easy to say na, I'm just an agent, I'm just giving them their karma, and then you do something bad. So yun po, that's what I wanted to know, na asan yung boundaries, kumbaga, if there is po.
Thank you, thank you. And very important to learn bakit nasa scriptures to. First of all, yung Kali Yuga and the descriptions is for us to be, hindi ka pwede magbulag-bulagan na you're living in paradise. This is earth. All the dualities are here. And it's meant to be, meant to happen. It's a cycle. The creation, annihilation is there. And who does that? Si Krishna pa rin. Pero, ano yung symptoms nun? Sumasayaw na si Lord Shiva. Pag sumayaw na si Lord Shiva, that's the annihilation na. Ano na yung sinasabi mo na yung mga fire and all. So, hindi lang, if you read further pa, mas makikita mo paano mag-destroy yung annihilation na to. Hanggang bumalik ulit siya sa vibration, sa sound. Tapos nag-inhale na si Mahavishnu. Yung mga universe na sa kanya na uli. And pag nag-exhale na siya uli, another form of creation. Bagong birth na uli ni Lord Brahma yun. So, that's life. Ikot-ikot siya. So, anong takeaway? Don't come back. Diba? Go home back to Godhead. So, it's nice to know yung ganito for us to be able to really know the nature ng creation ni Krishna and not be too much attached. It's part of it, part of the knowledge. But don't be afraid na mangyayari yun. Kaba, if you're with Krishna, kahit daling ka sa hell, you're with Krishna. Mag-share ka ng Krishna consciousness sa hell. The devotees are thinking like this, I don't care, daling mo ako kahit saan. Basta Krishna, ang conditions ko lang, wag mo kong bigyan ng forgetfulness about sa'yo. Kasi even if you're living here in earth, tapos di mo kilala si Krishna, you're just like in hell. Diba? Kahit na sa heavenly planets, kasi nakakalimutan lang si Krishna, puro enjoyment lang doon. What they do, the demigods, they go back here. And ang beauty ng Kali Yuga, bumaba si Lord Chaitanya. He gave the easiest way to come back to Godhead. Before I answer dun sa question, sa Sati Yuga, to perfect your life, you have to meditate 10,000 years. Of course, 100,000 years yung buhay mo nun. Pero walang galawan yun. So, sobrang hirap. Onting disturbance, back to zero ka. Sa Treta Yuga, to do that, you have to have the sacrifices. Diba? Ito yung kwento ko kanina, na watered down kasi kinakain nila yung mga animals. the sacrifices they're offering, and all are disposable golds. You don't have that minerals and rich wealth ngayon. So, sobrang hirap. In the Tetra Yuga, they worship the deities in the temple. Kaya puro temples dati. In Kali Yuga, ano yung process of perfection ng life? Chanting of Krishna's name. The easiest, the sweetest. Pero of course, mas worse yung environment. Nagets niyo yung ang ganda ng life, di ba? The more pressure na meron ka, mas makukuha mo yung essential oil dun sa flower. And the demigods, pumupunta sila dito sa earth na to kapag Kali Yuga na. Kasi magka-chant ka, mas madali. And you have all the calamities na nangyayari. You will be reminded, ayoko dito pala. I have to move forward. Hindi ka malilibang na, gusto ko magstay dito sa hotel na to. So that's the beauty of Kali Yuga. And it is very much explained sa scriptures. And even, Krishna and the devotees are here sa Kali Yuga na to. But yeah, the idea is to finish everything in this lifetime. So the lifetime we have now, we could finish everything. We can go back to Krishna. Just we follow the scriptures, the gurus. Tapos di tayo magpakaligaw-ligaw. So to answer the question, like karma, the accountability, thinking na agent to or agent siya. So ano yung boundaries, ano yung line na yun? Things will happen according to reactions natin, the actions and reactions. Or titawag siyang fruitive activity. Fruitive kasi may bunga. Or karma. Anong boundary nun? First of all, we must not think na tayo yung agent ng karma. So, pwede tayo maging masama. Hindi ako lang naging agent ng karma niyo, no? Hindi pwedeng gawing palusot yun. Bakit I'm very sorry. Kaya tinasaktan kasi ako yung naging agent ng karma mo. So the mood should be always in a humble mood. You might done something because of uncontrolled anger, senses, and all. So it's another karma. So anong boundaries para malaman mo na nangyayari to because of karma or nangyayari to bago mo ginagawa ngayon? Very thin line. Automatic, yung karma natin ganito. May fructified karma at saka hindi pa fructified. Or just like seed, yung karma or seed siya. Yung iba nag-fructify na, iba darating pa lang. Ano yung nag-fructified na? Ito yung gender mo, ito yung bahay mo, dito ka nakatira, ito yung family mo. Fructified na yun, nangyari na. Hina-harvest mo na currently. So ano yung hindi pa nag-fructify? Ito yung marireceive mo bukas, sa isang araw. Malinaw pa rin ba yung audio ko? Nag lang yung video. Okay pa rin naman. So, ito yung mga scenes or yung mga karma natin na hindi pa lumalabas. When you're chanting, kaya hindi natin nararamdaman, yung mga seeds na yun namamatay na. Pero of course, yung mga nandito na, hindi mo mababago yun. Pag chant mo, kinabukasan, mayaman ka na. Diba? Parang dami na naman ng bank account ko. Yung Gcash ko dumami. Saka yung, diba? So, hindi ganon. That's your fructified karma. The rest, hindi na basta-basta mangyayari. The way we act, eto na yon. Meron siyang overlapping. Yung nangyayari ngayon, saka yung mangyayari in the future, depende sa gagawin mo ngayon. So, marireceive mo yung situation, may free will ka, anong gagawin ko ngayon? Papatulan ko ba siya or hayaan ko lang, tolerate ko lang? So, may choices ka. I have this job na medyo nakakalamang sa ibang tao, scam to eh. Pero medyo legal scam. Or nitong job na to, pero ang laking pera yun eh. So may options. So you're creating a new karma. At the same time, yung previous karma mo, ino-offer sa'yo. I-continue mo ba? Re-renew mo ba yung contract? Or you'll end that contract? So may overlapping. Yung iba sobrang obvious. So iba hindi. Yung mga offering sa atin, yung mga choices natin based on our karma. So what the thing, di ba? So, ang talong, i-continue ba uli yun yung cycle na yun? Or because of the knowledge that we are gaining, okay, hindi na. Tapos na yun. So, hindi na siya magiging cycle. You stop the cycle. So same thing, if we brought up dun sa mga, alam mo yung example na, hindi, pangarap ko sa'yo to, gawin mo to, kunin mo tong course na to. Kasi yung pangarap ko, ginawa ko yung pangarap ng parents ko, yung pangarap ko hindi natupad. So pangarap ko na lang sa'yo. Tapos yung ikaw naman, yung pangarap ko maging artist, di nangyari. Maging artist ka anak, pero gusto niya maging lawyer. So alam mo yung cycle na yon, di ba? So same thing, kailan mo hihinto yun? So in a macro perspective as karma, same thing din. Diba? Kailan mo hinto yung karma na yon? Just like us, ano yung offer sa atin ng karma natin? To be born in a meat eater family or angkan. Buong angkan natin, lahat ititrace mo, puro meat eating. Then you can just stop that karma. In-offer sa atin yung options na yon. So ngayon, gagawin ko ba uli or hindi na? Still, andun yung free will, andun yung beauty ng free will. Diba? I'm gonna be a victim of Maya na ito lang yung pupuntahan ko, or andyan si Krishna. Nag-aantay lang siya palagi sa'yo. Kasama mo nga sa heart mo eh. He's just a witness sa lahat ng ginagawa natin. He's always waiting. So, or return ka lang. Sobrang lapit lang ni Krishna. Harap ka lang talaga sa kanya. So, same thing. We have Krishna. Para kang pinanganak na mayaman pero nakalimutan mo yung account number. Galing sa previous life. So, you have Krishna with you pero hindi mo makonect ulit kay Krishna. Hindi pa natin ginagawa para makonect kay Krishna. So, yung soul searching kasama yung super soul searching. We want to connect kay Krishna. So, that's yung fine line, overlapping siya yung boundaries. Nag-overlap siya. Parang yung BGC, nag-aaway yung Taguig sa kay Makati. Sino may-ari ng BGC? Kasi, wala silang pakialam dati, naging maganda. Nag-aaway sila ngayon. Mommy duty. Yes, Mommy duty, please. Catch up sa roar. Naka-record ba? Naka-record naman. So, yes. Sana nagot ko ba yung yung question mo? Hare Krishna. Yes, Dan.
So, hi Krishna, everyone. Thank you, Prabhu, for this lecture. I feel like I gained so much or nuggets of wisdom here and there. Now I can go back to like whenever there is something in my life. So like my question is actually more on it's more for in my experience, like because of the lecture and gaining all this knowledge. Like before Bhakti yoga, I actually made the foundation of my practice on Kriya, like Kriya yoga. And so uh, right now, what I'm trying to do is like synergize the practice of both Bhakti and Kriya. So what I'm doing, like my first approach is actually with food. So like it's prashadam and then having right now I have a all raw diet like for seven days. I'm trying it. But besides from that, I just want to ask like how else can I synergize these two like practices to be able to be closer to Krishna consciousness?
So yes, ang ganda ng question mo, and Kriya Yoga is under, I believe, Patanjali pa rin, di ba? Patanjali, of course. That's incarnation of Lord Balaram. Nakwento ko na yun, di ba? Yung nag-offer si Shiva ng sayaw. Tapos si Ananta Sesh. So si Balaram kanina yung may hinatak. So incarnation niya si Ananta Sesh. Then nag-incarnate din kay Patanjali. So it's really connected. But of course, nag-watered down because not all the practices, they have the lineage. So for one to really practice this kind of, this is still part of Ashtanga in the scriptures. Ngayon lang, syempre, naging flow na lang yung Ashtanga. Even yung Kriya Yoga ngayon, this is still part of this. The connection, ito yung diniscuss namin sa Srimad Bhagavatam every morning. Patapos na yung topic na yun. The connection, if one is doing this, is for one to be able to control himself, his senses, his energies, his chakras, para makapag-perform siya ng bhakti. Same thing. And habang ginagawa mo yun, you could have the intention to perform bhakti. Not just to get, sige, ganito. You gain powers. You have your chakra aligned. You have the good memory. You can control, you can levitate even. So, anong naging purpose niya? Just like the mysticism, yung iba magkakaroon ng power na they could be lighter than the wind. They could fly. You would spend a lot of time Pero pwede ako mag-book ng sale ng AirAsia. Makakapunta ako ng India. Or gusto mong maging maliit na maliit. So, that's one result ng mga mysticism. Maging agatom. Kailan si agatom? Ang old school ng ano ko. Ano, ng, ng preference ko. Yeah. May microscope, di ba? May macro lens nga yung camera ngayon eh. Di ba? You can search or you want um, to mental telepathy to perform that. May cellphone na ngayon eh. 'Di ba? May Telegram, may 'di ba? Gustong-gusto ko may Slack, yung mga mas professional na. So these kind of things, if doon ka naka-focus, it will be still material. So for one to be able to synchronize this, one should know the consciousness. Bakit mo ginagawa to? It's very helpful kung it will help your your mindset, your body, 'di ba? I do still yoga asanas, 'di ba? Although iba-iba, kanina nag-kettlebell ako. Or sometimes I run. Or sometimes pinagsama-sama ko sa isang araw. So, it will help for you to perform yoga. That is the Bhakti yoga. It's not other way around. You don't perform Bhakti so you can practice yoga. So, parang nawalan siya ng sense yung naging material, yung focus mo. So, yeah, do it if you need to. If it will give you much more time, much more focus. And that's actually the purpose of these. Si Krishna rin may gumawa nun. Incarnation din ni Balaram, si Patanjali. For one to focus. Diba? Para mapag-perform sila ng bhakti much even more. Of course, ngayon, this time in Kali Yuga, lahat, ang daming pangalan. Diba? You have the different names na nakatrace pa rin doon sa ano. And ang dami na mix na. Mix na yung from Tibet, from Buddhist, from India, from different and all. So, if you find a connection, if you don't find a connection, then you decide, okay, are this beneficial pa or hindi na? So, I suggest you try it out. Be Krishna conscious while doing this. If it helps you, go. If this is the danger in other practices, and even in Bhakti, if one is not controlling or being aware of humility, it could give you impersonalistic philosophy or even playing God because you're too much powerful to compared to others. You know, you could read mind. You could, ang daming mga pwede and then you'll play God. That's the danger. And ang daming nangyayari yun. Ang daming nangyayaring ganun. Even those who are trying to psychedelic spiritual experience. No, they end up themselves playing God. God, recognize other God. Diba? May rapper nga na pangalan ng ano yan, name niya, may God din eh, kasi thinking na siya yung God. Pero nagkatrabaho siya. Yung God, oh, parang God, di ba? May katrabaho para may sweldo or sumasakit yung ulo. Walang ganun. So, kaya alam mo yung, kailangan magpagupit or may wrinkles sa mukha. Kasi yung God, siya yung all beauty. Sa kanya yung galing all beauty. Parang wala namang ganun. Di ba? Nakita niyo yung mga pseudo-gurus na nagpapanggap na God sila. Mababalbas, puti yung hair. Diba? Tas, in the end, they will claim God. Ganun talaga yan. Diba? Panot na siya. Diba? Parang same. Diba? Ba't nag-toothbrush ka? Or sumasakit na kailangan may appointment sa dentist kung God. So, we must be aware of this kasi people are easily fooled. Ayun yung di ba yung sabi sa Kali Yuga, they can use the flowery words. Mag-jugglery lang sila mga words and they could create. So these kind of things, we must be aware. Ano yung pinapractice natin? I would suggest like in the process of yoga asanas, find those who have lineage din ng disciplic succession. So alam mo yung ginagawa mo. Diba? Alam mo yung may teacher din siya. Matatrace mo yung lineage nun. Diba? Hanggang makatrace kay Patanjali if meron ko makitang ganun. But there are, kasi nasa India ako, hinanap ko yun. Tinatanong ko kung sino yung mga legit na mga yogi. Kasi ang dami ng kung sino-sinong yogi na, di ba? Sino yung may lineage na. Hindi certification na. Yung proper lineage. Kasi madali magpa-certified. Yung proper lineage. So you know, yung pinapractice mo is the real deal. Otherwise, baka, alam mo yun, I'm not quite parang hindi ko kabisado yung Kriya Yoga. Hindi ako nag-spend ng time to study it. But I know it came from also the process of the teachings of Patanjali from the Patanjali Sutra. Tapos they created a new name and all. So maybe you could help. So yan, hopefully na nasagot ko yung question mo Dan.
Thank you. Yes,
Just
answer siya. Actually, I have one last question lang.
sure. So anyway, bago
Someone,
yung next question, di ba parang sabi mo kahapon, back to basic, Krishna consciousness.
yeah,
Di ba?
balik nga siya rin. Then,
Oo.
my question is actually, like, when I'm meditating, uh, nung una, I did it Kriya first, then yung, Bhakti. But I felt na this morning, inuna ko yung Bhakti, then Kriya. And I felt na parang it's like Bhakti first is really better than Kriya. I mean, it's really better than parang having it the other way around, just from my experience. But what did you say about that?
This is, at na yung lumalabas yung pagiging personalist. Bakit siya magiging better meditation practice? Because you're connecting kay Krishna directly. You can meditate, di ba? Sometimes I do breathing exercises. Mag-pranayama ka. So, it could clear the mind. So, you can think of Krishna. So, that's, you can do that. But you don't think of Krishna so you can clear the mind. Hindi mangyayari yun. Kasi you want to connect nga kay Krishna eh. That's the goal eh.
Yeah.
Diba? So, ayun na yung practice of personalism. Pero if you're just meditating on nothingness, then that's voidism. That's how we call na voidism. Yes, it's a relief kasi nawawala yung mga nakatambay sa mind mo. Temporary, mawawala sila. Ano result? Nothingness din. You feel empty. Ang daming in the years of my, connecting to other people, and this is what people are saying if they practice voidism, the practice of meditation on nothingness. Alam mo yung nararamdaman nila afterwards. Yes, wala na yung problems. Medyo magaan. They feel empty. Like, oh yeah, that's your meditation. Emptiness, di ba? And you'll feel empty. Talagang wala talaga. Walang connection. Wala kang connection. Walang relationship. Walang connection kay Krishna. So yeah, you can practice it. So you could practice Bhakti much more. You can practice, yung isang nahanap ko na isang process of yoga, the practice na may mga guru sila is the pranayama. They teach. Tapos meron din silang guru. I think sa Iyengar, meron din siyang lineage. Sinabi sa akin sa India yun. Sa Iyengar. Tapos very strict din sila doon. Na isa pa nakalimutan ko eh. But not those who are, yung mga controversial. Tapos wala silang guru. They play God. Pero magaling sila mag-yoga. You cannot deny that. Actually, yung contortionist, mas magaling mag-bend. Diba? So, yeah, you can try this out if you want to, or you can just stick to one, whatever brings you closer to the Supreme. Same formula. If it gives you peace of mind but nothingness and walang connection kay Krishna, if that's your goal, why not? But if yun nga, parang lumalayo ka kay Krishna lalo, parang, teka lang, dito yung goal ko. So, you'll know. Kasi, to be honest, yung other, if you want to be just empty sa mind, marami talagang process to do that. Iba-ibang flavor din. So, yes, do your experiment on this. Don't 100% just follow what I said. Do your experiment. Do read about this. Do experience. I'm not God. I might be wrong. Yes, Krisha. Thank you, Dan. Ang ganda na questions. Di ba kayo
I just want to say
nagugutom?
thank you, Prabhu. Like, you're so knowledgeable. Like, it shows in every meeting. You're so knowledgeable. Like, sometimes I'm just sitting here that I'm super wowed. Like, all of these facts. Tapos, Prabhu, ang funny mo mag-diss ng mga taong hypocritic. I love it. That's my favorite. Makes me laugh so much. And okay, anyway, I just want to share. It's not really a question. I got hit in the head and may bukol siya. Hindi ako makagalaw. Like, all of my other movements are restricted. I can't do downward dog. I can't do forward fold. I can't do planks, whatever asana practice. But it's strange to me because even though I feel like I couldn't continue that, I still get to chant every day. and I really get to work more intensely into like bhakti because I'm physically limited, and it's like it's like I was forced into it basically. That's how I feel now. So yeah, that's all I want to say.
Ang ganda ng realization mo, no? Everything happens for a reason. And si Krishna may sanction palagi doon. Di ba? Totoo yun, totoo yun. And yeah, if may inflammation and all, and we do some other inversion and all, the blood will go there. And alam mo yun, it's dangerous because the blood pressure, and any scientific explanation pa. Hindi ko abisado lahat. But yeah. Yeah, focus. That's why Bhakti is the easiest. Ay, 'di ba kung yoga yung process ng perfection ng life, paano kapag wala kang kamay? Hindi mo magagawa to. Ay, hindi ka ma-perfect yung life mo kasi hindi mo magagawa to. Hindi mo kaya mag-split. Kung ganun yung basehan ng spirituality. Di ba? So, hindi ganun. Hindi siya, it will be a tool. It's a tool, actually. We have a lot of, yoga teachers na mga Bhakti practitioners. I don't know if you know Pio Bakiran. Very senior, mga seniors, mga bata pa kayo kung hindi siya kilala. So, very seniors na sa yoga industry. Yeah, he's a like, long time monk. Bata pa lang siya, monk na siya. Nag-i-India siya palagi. Tapos, when he wants to live a life much more outside the temple and much more closer to people, naging yoga teacher siya as a way of living. And also, he teach Bhakti discreetly. So, alam mo yun, indirectly. So, very, ang gandang realization yun to see the things happening to us connected kay Krishna. If you see it as, alam mo yun, ba't nangyari sa akin to? Diba? Alam mo yun, pag you just find a lot of things to blame yourself or others or negative perception, you will find it. But if you see the connection kay Krishna, diba? At naghiwalay kayo ng boyfriend mo, no? Hindi, si Krishna talaga to, no? It's not you, it's Krishna. Hindi na, it's not me, no? Ba't ka na ipagwala? It's not you, it's me and Krishna. Nagpalit mo siya kay Krishna. So yeah, you can find many reasons and connection kay Krishna. And yes, magkakaroon talaga. The more we suffer, the more we remember Krishna. Alam mo yung technique para hindi ka mag-suffer palagi. Kahit masaya ka, remember Krishna. So si Krishna hindi mag-a-arrange na magka-suffer ka lang palagi to remember. You're chanting eh. You want to remember Krishna palagi eh. Diba? You want cleansing eh. Diba? You want purification. Diba? Kasi hindi ka nang sindi ng mga sages mo. Tapos pag andyan na yung cleansing saka yung detachment, masakit siya kasi we're attached. So imagine, tinanggal ni Krishna one click. May nagtanong na gano'n eh. Bakit tanggalin ni Krishna lahat ng attachments natin? Hindi natin gusto. Mahirapan tayo kasi attached tayo doon. So si Krishna very gentle, unti-unti. So, ano yung kaya natin and ready anong ready tayo. Minsan medyo mas biglaan or mas big change. Kasi sobrang attached tayo lalo doon. So, quick siya. Alam mo yun? Para sa atin, mahirap na yun. Parang yung breakup, lagi mahirap on that time. Diba? The same goes with Reiki, right? Like, if dedicated what I do with Reiki as service of love and devotion. Does that count? Like, it's possible naman that Reiki has connection to Krishna. Yes. Do your healing. Heal people. Diba? Then, it's hard to practice bhakti if you're sick. Be healthy. Have a good energy. Ang daming mga Reiki healers na nagpa-practice ng bhakti. So much. Alam mo si Maria, di ba kilala mo sila Jinky? Yeah, and all the Radha yogis and all. So yeah, they practice Reiki. So energy, ang daming will practice this energy. And yung iba talaga matitrace mo sa Vedas. So again, what's the purpose? It's healing. If that will be helpful or tool for healing, so you can practice bhakti, then go. Diba? Parang, Radha siya, parang tinakausap ko si Maui yata yun. She's asking if I take Western or pharmaceutical medicine. Yeah. Diba? Hirap hindi, organic lang ako eh. Tapos, hindi ako makapag-lecture or makapag-class, mag-chant kasi barado yung dalawang ilong ko. Dalawang nostrils ko. So, take it kung ano yung magiging ano. We don't have to be fanatic. So yeah, you can do Reiki, then connect it to Krishna. Again, the intention. It will be harder kasi when you're a healer, you're absorbing their energy and their karma. That's the thing. That's the thing as a healer. You're always absorbing. Don't do it for free. Get from some donations because that's in exchange for karma. Then what you get, use it for spiritual activities. Don't just enjoy it for sense gratification. Ito yung mga consequences or package as a healer. Absorb it. Para hindi ka maubusan ng energy, connect kay Krishna. Siya yung source of energy. Di ba? Sa kanya galing lahat eh. So, have the, alam mo yun, may quick charge ka. You chant, di ba? Do your rounds. Di ba? If your spiritual is strong, you can help others. But if they're interested, really like into it, you know, they want and all, then share Krishna to them. Ang ganda ng t-shirt ni PY, naka-Woodstock ka pala. So, yeah, you can share Krishna to them and all. Basahin ko lang to, I have that same realization. There was a time na I stopped doing Kriya because I didn't feel connected. I didn't know what I was doing it for. Yeah. I feel that I got that yeah, nurse. Nurse ka rin ba, si Mara?
Hindi, yan yung kanina kay Krish, yung sinabi niya na, yung vertigo, ganyan, ganyan. Tapos you were going on about yung blood pressure, ganito, ganyan, ganyan. So parang,
Oh,
ayan, may nurse ka din.
nakalimutan ko na lahat sila. Hindi ko actually, after board exam, hindi na ako nag-practice. Ano ba ginawa ko sa buhay nun? Basta, I was never employed. Puro exploring lang kami. So, si Bea naabutan yon like when we have a studio. Tapos nakikita niya kami, this pre-mock times. So, yeah, he saw some other devotees there in our studio, art studios, puro artist lang doon. And we do kirtan and all. So, anemic and have bad vertigo, yes. So, hirap, di ba? Mag-balance ka, mag-3-pose ka, tapos may vertigo ka, tapos tingin ka sa taas. Wealthy options. So yes, and thank you for appreciating. All I know actually, like what Krishna mentioned, are coming from my guru and my teachers. Like, I've learned this all from that. I give all the credits to them. I have a lot of teachers. I have mentors also. Maybe I just put the funny antics dun sa mga explanation para mas light lang siya. Ang scary naman pag-usapan niyo yung Kali Yuga. Di ba? Ang dami na ang problema. Ano mo yun? Parang, yeah, some are very serious about it. They could share it and very serious. And sometimes it's gonna be heavy. Kasi, it's our lifestyle. Ito yung mga attachments natin. No? Or wala. It is what it is. Ako talaga to. Nakilala niyo ko, ito na talaga yan. No? Well, of course, pag yan sa temple ako, I have serious services din. But yeah, this is me. Yan. Yes, may nag-raise ng hand. Who raised a hand?
No problem. It was me. No, I just wanted to say na when I had one, nagsingit ako ng isang Reiki session kasi during this whole course kasi as much as possible, parang, as in ginawa ko talaga, hindi ako mag-accept. As in, focus on learning and learning. Pero nagsingit ako ng isa. And I chanted before it. And wow, yun lang. Parang, I did not feel as tired. It was just, it felt so different. It felt so different. And thank you. Thank you for holding this space, for helping us elevate our lives and give our lives more meaning, because now we know why we do what we do, why we go about our days the way we do. So, yun lang. Thank you to you and the teachers that came before you and the lolo, our great super lolo.
Sila Prabhupada. Sila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
Yan.
So, yun. I don't think none of us will ever stop thanking you. So, yun lang.
Thank you for your appreciation. And
Hare
yeah,
Krishna.
continue to chant your rounds. And tulog na kayo, no? 9:30 na.
Oh my God, ang haba.
Diba? Ang ganda kaya magandang evening session eh. Kasi, alam mo yun, settled ka na and all. Diba? Hopefully, wala kayong mga gutom na mga alaga dyan sa inyo. Diba? Awayan nila ako pag nakita nila ako, di ba? No? Ano, wag na mag-log out hanggang 4:30 na to, hanggang bukas na to. So yes, yes. I'll see you tomorrow. For those who wants to join the morning session, those who wants to be part ng Brushback Academy group chat, let me know. Sabay-sabay ko i-add doon. And again, hindi ko alam kung pupunta ako ng Pobs bukas, pero baka Sunday. Ayoko ng traffic eh. Pero I'll be around the city soon. Yeah,
Saturday
tutuloy-tuloy.
na.
Yeah, di ba sa Pobs ka lang din?
Saturday.
Saturday?
Traffic
Yeah,
pag Sunday,
I'm
Sunday na lang pero walang
Sunday, madali
traffic.
mag-park kaya sa ng
Pwede
Sunday.
akong pwede akong mag-drive from QC to
Di ba?
Pops.
Madali
So,
mag-drive.
okay.
Saan ka ba sa QC, Mara?
Ah, far view.
Farview nga yan.
I'll just
Yeah, yeah.
walk. Bilis Prabhu. Sa
Ito si
Saturday or sa
Keiko, ang lapit ni
Sunday.
Keiko eh. Ay, may QC trip din ako eh. Mother Ignacia, I believe. Tapos, Makati. Basta hindi nakakatamad kasi mag-traffic. Drive sa traffic eh. Pero depende. You have a lot of
Oo.
visits. Then I'll let you know for sure. For sure. I'll let you know. Tapos, yeah, tuloy-tuloy pa rin yung mga Zoom meetings. I don't know kung sawa na kayo sa boses ko, pero may mga Zoom meetings pa rin for the students. Just let me know. Morning and afternoon yon. So, message me lang. Thank you very much, Bea, Krisha, Keiko, Mara, Shara, PY, Dan, Xiaomi Pad 5, and si Kenny. Maraming salamat. Good night and please dream of Krishna. Bye everyone. Haribol, Hare Krishna.